let's go.
Oh goodness, I have about 3 seconds of delay, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like 30. Alright. Alright, well, this is Rock This World. I think there's been 2 other KH2 runs so far at this marathon, or maybe 1. But anyway, Rock This World is the tutorial. It's easy. You skip cutscenes, you kind of walk onto a cat. That's all it really does.
Walk
The beginning
onto a
section
cat.
is, yeah, there's a cat sitting on top of their armor stand. It's easy. Just walk on it. And then you have to RNG with it by doing very specific combos on this, which is so fun. So, the whole thing that Fritz is doing, he's going to be trying to manipulate... Cypher? I think it's
Cypher.
Oh, Cypher. Yeah, they're all the same. So you want him to just do that one attack, because that one attack is just going to manipulate the dust coming up. So just immediately kill us, because dying is fast, and who wants to not go fast in the speedrun?
Exactly.
I don't know. This is cool. It manipulates all kinds of stuff. It goes like to Twilight Thorn and manipulates even spawns of creepers in that fight, which is so fun.
Oh yeah.
And then it completely breaks because Stribbles are cheated, and there's ball RNG, and that's not good.
Also, for those of you who don't know, I'm I'm going through some IRL changes right now with like student teaching and work and stuff. So I took a nap right before this run and set an alarm which didn't go off. So Sage called me, and I'm so glad he was able to get through.
Oh, I need to be turned up apparently. So.
Okay.
I could just do it on my end, but I don't know how well that's going to sound.
I can do that in just a minute.
Turn my mic up again? I mean, yeah, but the mic is all staticky. There you go. Stop. Probably too loud.
I can try it on Discord and mine in just a minute.
Am I good now, though? I'm just trying to talk a little bit quiet, but I also don't want my mic to be constantly peaking, so...
Thankfully, we only have to do one minigame.
Oh, God. Yeah, if you do, I think you get 1,200 money, which is a lot of minigames in a row. You, get 2 AP. It's not worth it. Never do it. Never do it. Never. Even on beginner, don't do it. Oh yeah, this part. Do you death abuse here as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, no, sorry,
Oh, you don't death abuse.
Strat didn't go exactly the way I wanted it to. Oh, dang it. You have to do 10 empty hits on the little dust there. I do a strat where I do 2, 3, 3, 3 with air hits, but sometimes like the finisher doesn't really connect, or like it doesn't time that well.
Alright, my mic isn't better. You might be able to turn me up on
Oh, think we can get a quick donation in?
Probably, since at this point it's just a
Yeah, so I don't know how long this has been here. I don't know if it's already reread, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it anyway. So Salty with the $10. I promised I would give this dono when IBA's run was going on, so I'm keeping my promise. Well, thank you for keeping your promise. And we got another $10 towards a very worthy cause. If you guys don't know, we are making money to stand up to cancer for searching for a development of a cure. So, very good cause, and I really appreciate you guys for donating. Once again, if anybody can spare even pocket change, like a single dollar, it would be wonderful.
Indeed. So the fun thing about crit mode is we're given a lot of AP and a bunch of free abilities at the start, and I just put those on. The only one I didn't put on is EXP 0, which prevents us from gaining EXP. I might be equipping that if I want to do a run like that, level 1 run, which I'm not sure what I want to do.
Don't do level 1. It's not that good. But the other abilities I think would be Draw, which is going to be very useful in the next fight, as well as you get a critical, or a finishing plus, not critical plus, a finishing plus, as well as a reaction boost. Those are like the main big abilities that you get starting off on crit. You also get 2 Lucky Luckies, which you don't actually use for the run, and an MP Hastera, which comes in handy a little bit, but it's only used for one fight.
It's
other fun
Hydra?
things that, yeah, it's Hydra.
Yeah.
Hydra's the only fight that a couple other fun little things about crit. You get a 1.25 damage multiplier, so there's a 1.5 that beginner gives, and you actually get 25% less experience, which that will be coming up probably midway through the run, having to kind of fix our EXP detriment. And that RNG from earlier.
There we go.
Right now. And the 2 creepers are going to end up popping like that if you can get Cypher. They're the same character, really. Whenever the dude with the bat calls you a sucker, you kill him properly, the creepers right there are going to spawn in the right place, and the fight goes really well. It's great. It's a lovely thing. And now RNG minute is done because
Right. That fight.
struggles.
That fight can go south so quickly if you don't.
Oh.
If you mess up the strat.
If you get hit by a vine, if a creeper decides to be mean and smack you, there's so many things that could go wrong, kind of out of your control, but especially on crit, you die very, very, very fast. Like, I think it's only like 4 hits that you die.
Something like that. And this is one reason why I love crit. Draw right here. Whoops.
Draw just sucks in orbs, so it makes struggles very easy for beginner and any other difficulty. You have to like basically eat the orbs. You have to get so close to them, whereas in crit you can be a few feet away and they still get sucked in. It's fantastic. Speeds up the segment quite a lot. Especially Vivi. I think Vivi, what do you get on Vivi? It's like 43, aren't they?
I usually get 42.
42, okay. Whereas on beginner, getting like a 38 is considered really good. Anything above that is not really possible.
Right.
A bit of unfortunate orb spread, which not too bad.
Right.
Well, still above a 30.
You can do a reversal here, and then each of these guys need a 2, 2, and then 3. Whoops. And I got yeeted.
So one thing with this is you don't want to do finishers if they're too close together, because your finisher can actually hit the ducks and spread them out further. So doing a bunch of single hits like that, while it might seem bad, it's actually a lot better, because you don't have to worry as much about enemies getting spread out really far, just them being far enough with more time and not getting a bit of extra damage. And the natural here is
There we go.
3 combos, you block his attack, do 3 more combos, and he dies. It's actually a lot tighter of timing than you'd expect it to be, because if you miss one of those, he can pretty quickly kill you, or go into his DM.
Yeah.
Is also very deadly to try and dodge on crit.
It's always satisfying to get the quick kill on him. And then we have a true RPG. I hit you, you hit me. I hit you, you hit me.
And you die. That's the end of the game. We won. You died there because the item that you get is going to be the medal. The medal gives you a +1 strength upgrade, and strength for all stats in this game, just a +1 will massively increase your damage output. And so getting that medal is actually way better than the other item you get from winning, which would be the champion belt. Champion belt doesn't give you any defense, it's just some elemental resistance, which we don't really need in the run. On top of that, it's also just faster to die to him. Like,
Right.
it's actually slower to try and fight him out than it is to just die. So I'm pretty sure even if you didn't get the medal, you would still die there regardless.
And the medal, I'm pretty sure we keep on for the entirety of the run.
On crit, yeah. You
Yeah.
keep the medal on the entire run. Beginner, you swap it up for a Hornline ring or a Sardonyx ring, depending on your output.
That's right.
Just use Hornline ring. You only do that though because needing of AP. Crit doesn't need AP. You get 50 at the start, as well as you get +3 every level up instead of the +2 that you would get from any other difficulty.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's see how BB clones are. They just need one hit. Whoops. Ooh.
Ah, did you miss one?
Yep.
BB clones are quite unfortunate. They kind of spawn in random places. The one consistency about them is that they all will go to jump into the back left. And so if you can kind of learn that pattern, it is actually not too bad to figure out how to kill them. The other thing is that they always will jump into an attack, and so you never want to try and kill them unless if you're right next to them after they jump, because you're going to just end up getting smacked.
Mm-hmm. I did have a quick menu where I equipped Scan, where we can now see enemy health.
You also put the medal on there.
Yeah, put the medal on, and then I got rid of summon animations, which is nice. I wish KH1 had that. Alright, let's see. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Yep, messed that up.
The timing for the air combos on Shadow Rocks is actually really difficult. Shadow Rocks is very low to the ground, and so your timings have to be very precise to be able to do it properly.
This is that was pretty rough.
For being rusty, that wasn't too bad. Because, God, Shadow Rocks is honestly one of the hardest parts to learn and master on any difficulty for this game. Just getting through Roxas World and learning how to do air combos with Shadow Roxas is one of the hardest things.
Yeah, so there's a way to keep him in the corner and just keep doing air combos on him, which just requires you timing your hits.
Never retaliates.
Yeah. And things I did that seamlessly just yesterday, but I don't know. It's once he gets out of it, it's hard to get him back in it.
Very much so, since he, again, like I said, he's very weird with his size compared to some other enemies. Same with like the reason why we don't do air combos on Vivi, it's because Vivi is so short. It's really, really hard to hit him. And so the way they have to time it, like you have to delay your second hit and then mash up a finisher, otherwise you hit the ground too fast, but if you mash the second hit and you whiff, it's a whole mess. Very complicated to learn how to do the combos on him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dang, Sage. Oh, well, I'm glad you got your second shot. Hope you're feeling okay.
Oh god, second shot was so bad. I was bedridden for a few days.
Well, I got the Johnson, and I took this. There's actually medication that you can take that addresses the side effects from the shot. Have you heard of that?
I don't know.
It's called alcohol.
I did. Yeah, that works. I slept. That was my medicine. Slept for like 3 days before finally waking up being like, oh, hey, I'm good now. At this point, there's not really anything going on. We're just heading to the mansion. There's going to be a couple of cutscenes, and then we're going to do really super close to the end. There's 3 more fights before Roxas is done.
That's right.
And then the real game starts. So a few cutscenes, and then the alley fight. So the alley fight is actually your first introduction to assassins, which are really only in like 2 parts of the game, and they're annoying in all of them. So here you're going to kill off the 2 dusks, and as soon as that one is dead, this assassin will spawn. So the issue with assassins is that if you don't catch it like he did, it will actually go into the ground and just kind of slither around, and it's invincible during that time, so you're unable to hit it. Not being able to hit the assassin is really annoying, and then on crit, if you get hit by his attack while he's on the ground, you just die. You don't have the ability to survive that. So catching him is really good, saves you time by not having him go on the ground, as well as prevents you dying if you don't know how to time your guards.
And so some of his attacks, when he does come up, you gotta be careful because they can just yeet you so quickly.
Oh, you get knocked so far, and it deals so much damage.
Oh yeah.
That swipe that you just saw, kind of out of the corner, that one will knock you across the room and deal over half your health. It's not a fun time. Don't get hit by that. You can guard it, but it'd also just be better if you don't get hit by it at all.
So after that previous fight, I checked my EXP. We wanted to kill at least 1 creeper during the Twilight Thorn fight. Thankfully, I did, and that gets us to is it level 3 by the end of this upcoming fight?
Yeah, so you're going to be hitting level 3 at the very end of this fight, which is a strength up. That strength up doesn't actually apply to anything quite yet. That will be a little bit later, and I'll point that out when we get there. But hitting level 3 early still helps, because if you don't have that strength upgrade, you're dealing level 1 damage, which is not good. It's very bad. You deal... God, I think a dusk will go, or a shadow will go from 3 hits to kill into like 6, I believe.
Yeah,
so
5 or 6 or something.
Yeah, quite a substantial difference. Right here, what he's doing is he's just trying to get a bunch of group hits, because he's wanting to kill as many of them at the same time as possible.
No, okay.
The assassins will spawn. There's 2 of them. And there they go under the ground.
So I tried to hit this one before he was going underground, but it targeted the dusk instead. So the goal there was to try to hit him, just to stagger him, to get rid of him, then get the other one. But I mean, they actually weren't that bad.
Yeah, you actually got really lucky.
Yeah, that was kind of lucky.
You did hit level 3, but for some reason, Axel doesn't scale to that damage, so it doesn't matter if you hit it here or not. It's only coming up in a little bit once we get to him. He will have to fight a bunch of shadows, or yeah, he'll be climbing up like into the tower, and in there, all of the shadows and the soldiers, those are what the damage increase from 3 was going to actually help with.
So it was at the end of that fight when we'd split for like what we would call, you know, the end of Roxas World. Like a 1620 something is definitely not great, but given oh, I got a menu.
Well, let me rephrase that. A 1620 is a very good time, but for someone who, or for Fritz himself, I think you have like a 1530 or something like that.
I have like 1540 something. And if I was going for a PB, then like a 1620 Roxas section, I probably would reset. But I mean, given, you know, I had, I know I had like some rough VV clones, and then Shadow Roxas was a bit rough. I mean, I'm not worried about that.
Nah. Early game, I will say, is something that a lot of people overestimate. Like, estimate for how much or how good of a time. You can get a sub 3 with a 17-minute Roxas. Oh yeah. You don't need a 15-minute Roxas. It's nice to have, but you don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, we're just death abusing. Crit, you don't need the level up at all. Mostly because of your abilities. They're just so good. Oh, and we didn't mention this. At the very beginning, he picked the shield. The shield is going to actually change a lot of his level up abilities, and from there, he's going to be getting item boost and combo boost very early. Item boost is going to be a major help in a fight coming up, and combo boost is just going to help increase your damage. And then pairing that with some of the crit abilities like Finishing Plus, you don't really need the level that beginner gets, because that second finisher just deals so much damage.
Oh yeah.
In fact, you actually, on beginner in Land of Dragons, you hit level 10 to be able to finally start killing, you can sub 3 with an 18-minute Roxas, yeah. The beginning game, a lot of people put too much emphasis on. But, what was I saying? Oh,
level 10 and,
oh yeah, level 10 beginner. So beginner, you can finally kill a Nightwalker with one combo. On crit, you do not like level 7, or level 6, because you have the second finisher. It is very, very useful. Also, these are the fight stuff that level 3 really helps out. All of those 3-hit kills for the shadows, really get them.
So this is another case when you want to avoid doing finishers if you can, because if you do a finisher on a shadow where it doesn't kill him, it'll just knock him across the room, and then he'll be immobile for a while. He'll just be like laying on his back, and it means you have to go to him, which can cost some time.
There is an opening that you can do for, like, you do like a ground combo and you can kill like 4 shadows at the same time with a finisher, but it's not actually worth going for outside of that. And here, if you do a specific combo on soldiers, you get the RC. Ideally you kill everything there in the RC, but kinda works.
Really?
Be careful.
Uh-oh. Okay, I'll take that, whatever. Sorry I'm not looking at chat. It is really great to see all you guys. I know I haven't been online in like 2 weeks, and unfortunately I won't be able to be online very much, so you all being here just really means so much. Great to see you all.
Just go on that soldier for a little bit of extra XP. It's not super needed, but it does help out a little bit.
I mean, it's you know, in every sense on the way, so we just go on.
I think it only loses like half a second, so.
Something like that.
Pretty sure a beginner, what you can do is like do a 2-hit and then pray that Donald uses thunder because the damage is just that high at that point.
Right.
Makes it go a little bit faster. So here's like the first real world of the game, something with like actual content, and it's immediately one of the worst fights in the game as well. Very luck dependent.
Could be a fun one though.
It could be. It could be incredibly fun and rewarding, or it can make you want to rip your hair out.
Exactly.
This is probably one of the highest reset points for all of my runs, because Leon decides to do whatever he wants and whenever he wants. And really the most you can do is pray that he's right. Most times you just get him to be okay. Not nice, just not horribly mean.
So that fight we can death abuse to, but we don't want to. And we're gonna explain why.
You don't want to for Valor experience. Valor levels up based off of how many hits you deal. So same as hitting all the soldiers right there, it's just getting a little bit of extra Valor XP. Valor XP is actually very important coming up on crit, especially. In the next world, you want to hit level 2 before a certain point. It'll point out. Lets you extend how long you can be in the form, and that extension helps significantly with getting through a part. The movement speed as well as the damage output from Valor is incredibly strong for me.
Oh yeah.
So we utilize it, I think, in pretty much every world to we use it pretty much every world until we get into the form.
There we go.
Oh, you get none. Oh goodness, yeah, we use it like half the game, I just realized.
Yeah.
And the whole reason it's so strong is because you have 2 Keyblades equipped, and having double Keyblades means you get both of the stat increases from both whatever is equipped. This is Leon v. Leon. You know.
Okay, I'll take that.
Samurai. Okay. So the issue with that fight right there, if you don't get Samurai because Leon hits him, Samurai can kill you very quickly. The RC is also one of the best damage outputs you have in this fight. It will typically kill entire waves, so you want to be able to guard to get to the RC, because that means dual stance and then dual stance will kill entire waves. But when Leon walks over and starts knocking things away, it's not fun. You can't guard them as consistently because Leon will just punch them away. Sometimes you guard them and then immediately they get thrown across the map.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one. As well as usually you don't get as many kills. So what happened there was Fritz only got a few kills. A lot of it was playing safe because we're on crit. You haven't really taken damage to show off how much damage you take yet, but please believe us, it's a lot.
Yeah, so the way that fight works, when the second wave, so after you kill the first wave of Dusk, then, you know, the Samurai and some creepers spawn, and then you saw the last wave was a bunch of Dusk. They only spawn when all those creepers die, so ideally, when you do the reaction command for the Samurai, it'll get rid of as many creepers as possible. So that's a split where there's like very often like a 30-second variability from like whatever I get in my gold, you know, because it's a gold I just got, you know, perfect luck, you know, all of them die within the first reaction command, which is just so thoroughly satisfying.
Yeah, I think my goal is a 2 RC, like entire fight was 2 RCs and it finished. I've never had that happen. I'm always like 45 seconds behind my goal. It sucks. What can you do?
Right.
Gummy missions, there's nothing really to explain here. The biggest thing is don't die. You don't want to collect blueprints, or not. So blueprints at the very end will slow down. So you can kill a decent amount of targets, but any of those like red beads you kind of see in the back there shooting at us, don't kill those. They give you special parts. You can collect enough of those special parts. You're then able to have the blueprint for a gummy ship, and it wastes time at the end. So general rule is just don't shoot things unless you really need to. And in this mission, it's easy enough to just count it down.
Oh, so is it based on the number of blueprints, not the score?
Well, yeah, so score doesn't matter. Or
Okay.
kill count even doesn't matter. It entirely counts off of killing the special enemies. So in here, you can get like a material times 10 of the gravity, and that unlocks 2 blueprints, I believe.
Okay.
You get like Falcon 1 and Highland.
Yeah, you always get Highland, but I think if you get so the blueprints will get
I think
you
you get
Falcon.
But really, the majority of it you just don't really get. It's not needed. Gummy missions are only important if you're a masochist like myself and run flat, where you need to get all the gummy blueprints. Don't run that category if you don't like gummy blueprints. You have to study a lot of them. Yeah, the big misconception is it's based off of score or kill count. You can get millions of points and never actually unlock the blueprint. You just need to be able to get special hardware kills, and they give you special drops, which then give you the special blueprints.
Alright. First world, this is a fun one, but it can also be a bit jank.
I feel like you can say that for all of them.
Yeah.
So what Frit's doing is there, he tossed the menu, he did the menu, he swapped Donald for Goofy, so that way we can go valid immediately, and he also took all of Peen's items, as well as hit the middle pad onto their controller. That middle pad is going to open up a little bit of an info section. If you do it on the items, you only get 2, like of those little info telling you how to do things, instead of 5, which, sadly, we still haven't found a way to skip it entirely, so that is the best we have at the moment. It does save quite a bit of time. I think like a second or 2, roughly, which doesn't sound like much, but I promise you, in a game as optimized as this is getting, those 2 seconds matter.
Oh yeah. Whoops. I bought armor. You know, top level runners don't. It's not necessary, but it's helpful. I bought the fire bangle.
Yeah, the fire bangle. Did you put it on yet? Or
No.
Wait to put it on? Okay. Well, if you buy it as early as you did, you should put it on immediately.
Oh.
It will actually make it so shadows will four-shot you instead of kill you in 3, as well as you take a little bit less damage from everything. But the main reason you buy the fire bangle is the resistance on 80 escape, which lets you take 3 hits before dying instead of 2. Again, it's not needed, but highly recommended if you want to be safe.
Yeah. Forgot to switch Donald in.
Oh, see, I didn't even notice. On beginner, you want to swap them in late anyway, otherwise you don't get your drive back. So.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, it really makes one even. All we're doing here is like these missions that you have to go on to prove that you're good for the army or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember who listens to the cutscenes and speedruns.
So I tried to get a finisher off on the assault rider quickly, but I was a bit greedy, so he broke out. I was able to save it though.
Yeah, what's scary is if you get hit, you kind of just die.
Yep.
From those. Like, they're very, very strong. I guess that is a good example of crit damage. Everything is terrifying, and if you're not at full HP when they do the slam attack, I'm pretty sure it just kills you.
I think so.
H1 on PS2 does. Oh yeah! I forgot that you have to watch cutscenes. Imagine that.
Thanks, Donald.
And this being the last of the 3 missions, it's just kind of a hunt and fetch quest with a bunch of shadows and then some night watchers. Our main goal for this as well is making sure we have 3 drives, so that way we can go back into Valor. Because after this, we're going to be hunting for mountains, and we need Valor at level 2 for that. Did you get? Yes, you did. Having Valor 2 will increase the amount of time you can stay in Valor, so instead of it being 3 bars, you now have 4, which is just slightly enough time to make it fully up the mountain and into the next tabletop coming out. The movement speed from Valor saves so much time here.
So for this strat, I'm gonna try to do a quick double finisher combo to get rid of all these guys, and it did. Nice. And Zoom, you also show me the quick strat for this, for the second mountain.
Oh yeah. So the way that I do that is I found like a positioning on the ground that you can just do a 1x into a square, which causes finishers in Valor, and just kind of kills everything. So the first combo that Chris didn't actually talk about that.
That's
the
right.
really cool thing that he did was he locked onto a shadow, or the soldier. He then hit square, which if you haven't started a combo in Valor, will immediately launch you into the air. He then target swapped to the middle dude, then hit square again, which causes his finisher to go off. Yeah. And by doing that, he's able to chain together all 3 of the heart rates into one big combo. And if you don't do that, the most you can kill is 2. It's actually quite a difficult set of inputs to execute, and the fact that he so just carelessly drew it off is it's no big deal. It's just a normal combo. Yeah, this is also our first utilization of fire, and really our only utilization outside of... I'm not sure what it is. No, we use it a bit.
Whoa, I didn't even run out of magic.
Fire is great crowd control, you kill a bunch of shadows, and then these all spawn, and a way that you know that crit was very good for shadows is you don't run out of MP, and you did. I think shadows take 3 fires to kill on crit. Don't quote me on that. I'm a little bit rusty on crit.
I think it's like just slightly. Yeah, I mean, 3 will kill them. 2 will almost, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. So back to say, oh, now you're picking up an AP boost, but I forgot, crit doesn't do any of that.
We got a time fight here. But by time, like, we can't. We have to stay until the timer goes out.
Yeah, it's a minute long. All we really do here is we're going to try and get as many possible kills as we can so we can just get a bunch of XP.
And some money.
Yeah, but the money isn't as big a deal as the EXP.
Right.
Missing out on the money is more of a beginner thing than a crit thing. I think it's like the difference between a 1 and crit, where beginner is the difference between being able to buy your 12 armors or not.
Right.
Which is far more important. So in this, we want to be about 120 or so EXP below, or to the next level. If you can hit that, it means you're going to be for sure able to level up in the next level, which he is more than good. Oh yeah, you're very good.
Oh yeah.
This also will speed up grinding later on in the run. Not too terribly much, but any extra definitely helps.
Alright. Do you see what I did there, or do you want me to explain the menu?
No, I can explain it.
Okay.
So in that menu, you're swapping Goofy back into the party instead of Donald, because, again, we need Valor. We didn't explain, since I don't think I did. All drive forms require a party member, so Valor needs Goofy, Wisdom needs Donald, Master and Final just need 2 party members, and Limit just Sora. So that's kind of one of our go-to once we get it. So in that menu, he swapped in Goofy again. He then put Ping to... Did you change Ping's customize? I didn't see that.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So, did you put them on party or solo? I don't.
I do party attack.
Okay, so party attack, which causes it so that way they won't focus on whatever you're targeted on, which actually is helpful for Shanyu, but I'm lazy. They also took off a couple of abilities, is going to force you to be able to kill all the Heartless here. You don't need it, but it's way more consistent. As well as putting on a few items or abilities for Sora, such as Combo Boost, Item Boost, and Slide Dash, I believe, is free, and the Fire. Fire Bangle is, like I said, it prevents you from taking some extra damage from that in this world specifically, and then in Olympus, which is the world right after this, it lets you not die from Hades.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Probably don't. I probably do without it, but I just keep it by nature of habit.
It's so nice to have. It really does help to make you feel more confident taking a hit.
Did I up a little bit too early? Or a little bit too late, I think.
I think that's still RNG though.
I'm actually not sure.
I'm pretty sure that like his retaliation thing that you really can prevent.
There we go. So using Valor when we reached level 10 with from EXP grinding against Shen Yu really helps the fight.
Because level 10 is another strength increase, and
that's right.
Any strength increase is a big increase for a majority of this run. Like, we're going to be picking up a singular power boost in Olympus, and that single power boost is a massive difference in damage. Again, just the one fight ahead of itself. Never underestimate having a damage upgrade in this game.
Right. So by the end of the run, we'll be like level, like low 30s. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like on crit, it's like you in the game at like 34, depending on the EXP, and beginners sometimes you hit like 35. But you don't. None of those levels in between 30 matter. None of them will actually give you enough damage. The next time the damage increase actually will help you is I think it's 38, I believe. Pretty sure it's 38. It'll help you ever so slightly on some fights.
That's interesting, because I know you get strength increases for that, but I guess it's not helpful enough, I guess?
Yeah, so at 30, you get a strength increase, and that's what we care for on Jafar. And then 34 has a strength increase, but the strength that you get from that is not enough. It's not until 38.
Gotcha. So if you don't know, Soim has run the longer categories in this game, so knowing that if you need someone to know this stuff, he's the guy. They're the guy. They're the one.
And by longer categories, I mean Gold Crown and 100% as my main one. I don't like any. Very rarely will actually spend the time to run 100%.
Right. But I mean, if I haven't made it clear enough, like, you know, you being here to commentate this is already just making this so much better, so thank you.
Yeah, of course. No worries.
And it's great to be with you too. It has been a while, you know?
It has been. It's been, I'm pretty sure it has been like 2 months.
Something like that.
Oh, I also mentioned real quick, don't kill things in gummy missions. This is a good example of a mission that it doesn't matter what you do for killing it, because most of the special ones don't spawn until the end, and really the only time you can get a blueprint is killing the ship itself. So if you don't kill the ship, you're good.
Yeah, and
that's also kind of hard to kill. So just don't kill the ship, you're good. All of these other dudes deal a ton of damage when they hit you on any difficulty, since unlike KH1, gummy missions don't scale in difficulty, they just are a base damage.
yeah.
And all of the ghosts deal a lot of damage. If you don't spin when one of these red dudes cling onto you, they can deal a lot of damage. And so the majority of this is just kill what's in front of you and spin around as much as possible to not die.
Thankfully, there's not much, you know. I think you can just kind of just match X and circle, and you'll be fine. If there was, like, you know, any intricacies to it, I'd kind of be annoyed by that, you know.
I think the only difficult gummy mission for a run would be, well, for any percent, is Halloween Town, right? Or is it Agrabah? No, it's Agrabah.
Yeah.
Agrabah is a big boss heart that can spawn midway through. Oh man, if you're not at a certain HP and don't kill it fast enough, you just die. It will walk you into this crazy punch combo and just drain your HP, all of your gummy ship HP. It is.
Yeah, your gummy ship will turn into like like a pong ball just bouncing off the screen.
Yeah, so bad. You can't control where you are on the screen. You can't shoot them out because you're getting knocked around everywhere, and the damage really is strong enough that if you're below half HP, you're probably going to die.
Mm-hmm.
The only other scary gummy mission I would say is oh man, it's absolutely Pride Lands. It has another one of the same Heartless.
That's right.
Stronger. And if you're running anything besides Plat, you don't have a very strong gummy ship, so pray to not die.
With Plat, you have the donut ship, right?
Yeah, Plat, you have the donut ship and so much damage that you hold X. That's the entire mission.
First time I heard about the donut ship from Biz's video, I felt like I knew something. Like I felt like I knew a secret, that no one knows. Like, you can do this, and then they all die.
I remember just finding and fully routing out gummy missions and like skipping a bunch of them because the old Plat route used the donut ship, but it also used like maybe redo all mission 1s and all mission 2s and a couple mission 3s, and then I was like, no, this is horrible. I'm gonna try and quickly explain what this fight is, but I'm gonna be kind of quiet during it because this is one of the most difficult parts of early game. So Hades' Escape is 3 waves of incredibly difficult Heartless.
Feel free to explain it in its entirety. It's not a problem.
Okay, so the first wave is quite simple. All you have to do is kill some effects and shadows. Really, you just bait out the RC, get the kill, super simple. But the difficult part is Hades. Without the fire bangle, 2 of those fireballs kill you outright. With the fire bangle, you're able to take 3 of them, but still not worth not healing because I'm pretty sure you still get one shot by anything else once you take a hit. The second one, all of those land soldiers will kill you in 2 hits. Compare that with the fact that Hades will kill you in 2 hits. It's not a fun. This is why you should pick up the fun. You can take a hit like that. Now the third wave, well, there's actually 2 waves. It's a very similar one. It's a combination of the first 2 shadows and fast as well as land soldiers. And then the last one is where we're going to find a large boss, which that plus the land soldiers, both of them deal so much damage, and then you're having to try and dodge Hades the whole time, and it can just go very poorly, very quickly. One of the only real backups is being able to use Orange Limit, which I don't know if he's going to do yet. No. Wow, you are
Didn't need to. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, that was a very, very good Hades escape. Very scary during a couple spots, but Firebank will kind of save you. And now, Cerberus. Very, very difficult fight.
Yeah,
he can 2-shot you.
I'm going to ask Zoim to be quiet for this one.
If you die, there's this whole walk.
But yeah, see, walking back here, it's about, you lose about 3 years of your life thinking about dying here. It's what we call the walk of shame. All right. Okay, Arn, you gonna heal me? All right.
Oh no.
See,
I can't believe
I'm a
you
really
died.
bad actor. We're all good.
So difficult. Anyway, Mickey's a cool mechanic in this game. Certain fights actually will just let you use Mickey. If you look at the damage that Mickey's dealing, it's better than ours. So we kind of just die on purpose to as well as guaranteed. Well, you don't use them on Shawnee. The way that Mickey works is certain fights, like I mentioned, Shawnee and Shawnee Service, actually, that's it. So far. Allow you to get Mickey if you die with them. And if you don't use them on any fight, it is like guaranteed in the next fight in the future. Now that Fritz has used them, it will only be you're an 80%? Yeah, it's an 80% chance for the next time, which I really don't see you running into.
Right.
But each time you use them, it goes down by a bit more until I think it caps down at like 20%. Most of the time, you're not really going to use Mickey if you're not playing on crit. It's kind of rare to find them. And now we have a pretty good break. There's going to be a few mini games and a lot of walking before we have to actually do anything else, which is such a good report. Like, what's the word? I'm tired. So, reprise?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know dictionary.
I'm not an English major. I don't care about words. Well, anyway, it's a nice break. Well, on crit the entire time up to this point. And please don't die. Please don't die. Please don't die. Now you maybe just break some pots. Who doesn't like just smashing pots? All of these small ones only give you small orbs. I think they give you 3 each. 3 each. Yeah, it's not really actually what you want. If you kill all of these expenses, you can get a bigger urn to spawn. The big urn also spawns only 3 if you kill it by itself.
I got
But if you smack it,
really lucky positioning with the big one.
yeah, that was really good. If you can knock it into other urns, all of those urns will also drop big orbs, and the big ones give you 10 points each instead of 3. So a majority of this for any difficulty is just kill as many urns as possible to get the big one to spawn, hit big one into small one, and you win.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the power boost that I was mentioning. Oh, I guess I'll see. Alright, so the menu that he just did there, he used the power boost. I think he used an AP boost as well as put on his counter guard, or did he put on
I put on aerial dive as well.
Okay, so aerial dive and counter guard are 2 very good abilities. Aerial dive will allow us to actually just from the ground shoot up in a spiral and hit aerial heart rate. So far, all we could do to do that is jump. As well as it deals so much damage.
Oh yeah.
It's like 6 hit or something like that. It's a
Something
very
like
big
that.
multi-hit attack, and so it deals a lot of damage. It comes out very quick as well. It's very good for hitting ranged enemies. And then counter guard, it's kind of what it does. You guard, and then you can counter. I think we use it on 1 fight, but it is very useful on that 1 fight.
If you're talking about Pete, I don't even use it on Pete anymore, so I don't know.
Oh, you don't?
No, I just, you'll see what I do.
Alright. I'm assuming you do air combo, right? God.
Yep.
This fight right here is, you have to kill all 100 clones in like minute 20. It's kind of RNG dependent. All you can do is, UGRC. A really, really good clone is like a 50-second. A good clone is around like the 45-second mark, and anything under that, yeah, it's not that good. But it's typically the best you can get.
For me, that was pretty good. Like a 44 is pretty darn good for me.
Yeah, 44, 60, pretty good. That's about average, I want to say. Or not average, above average. I think average is like a 38, I think. It's hard. Since Sora's random, and he likes to sometimes just go to the back of the room and sit there. And never want to actually hit any of the clones. Whoops. No, this is a never time fight. I see a lot of people actually try and fight Pete here. No matter how much damage you deal to Pete, doesn't speed anything up. All you need to do is not let Meg die, so you kill off the first wave of bats for some XP, and also safety. And he just kind of jump over some balls and guard the ball. That's it.
There we go.
He'll spawn a couple of ways to hurt with. Usually you only see a soldier. Sometimes he'll spawn in some more hookbacks. It's good if he does because you get some more XP, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, some nice extra credit.
This fight's also kind of scary. We haven't taken a hit yet, so it's not too big a deal, but you can in fact die in 2 hits here, which is very, very spooky. So, this fight, you're relying on battle form, sadly, to parry. Oh goodness, what happens? Down the way. Okay. So, you want to try and use Backcry, because Backcry is one of your best sources of damage right now. Between the crit reaction boost as well as the Valor damage, it deals so much damage over just normal physical hits. But you have to be very careful on crit, because those ghosts will 2-shot you, Pete will 2-shot you, and the hookbacks just deal a lot of damage regardless, which still lets you get one shot. Did you put Trinity on?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't see it. That looked like it when they come on. So we ripped Trinity Limit, which is what we just got, as well as a Keyblade defense that we're going to keep on pretty much the rest of the game. We'll have Trinity Limit. 2 parts. First part is all I'm going to explain for now. You have 3 damage-less attacks. So Major Drive, Ultima, and Break. When you use those, you're really just adding up a bunch of hits. Because once you use the finish, it's going to total up the amount of hits you had, and deal all of that as your main hit. So what we did there was we hit single hit with 2 of the finisher, or 2 of the combos. We didn't use the finisher, head died, and now we're going to finish off these. This is also where MPE takes our after crit kicks in. On beginner, crowd, or standard, don't run. Stay in the crowd, please.
Unless you're Logic, who just does it. He just does what he does.
Wyatt does it, and I don't get it. Like, Wyatt runs standard in the crowd. Anyway.
Let's not go into that. Alright, let's see what kind of damage we do. Ooh.
Here again, because of all the multi-hits. Oh, your finish is insane. So, Hydra not only has 3 head patterns, one of the head patterns just doesn't like to work with having the finisher hit. The finisher deals a lot of extra damage. Like, a lot of extra damage.
Yeah. I don't like my positioning. I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, you should be okay.
Yeah, there we go.
So, the thing with Trinity, with all the heads coming in, is you get a lot more hits. You have to kind of delay your second use of the Trinity limit just a tiny bit, so that way all the heads will go down, use Ultima, big explosion around Sora, hit a lot of heads, and deals a lot of damage. It's great. It makes Hydra so much nicer than trying to wait for Pegasus run for like 5 minutes to finish off the fight.
Do you know what determines if the finisher does damage or not?
It's really just positioning. Like I mentioned, the 3 head patterns. 2 of them it works. The one that you got, it just rarely ever hits in my experience because the heads are so far away. But it's really just kind of luck.
So that Keyblade that we got, we just be put on.
Gives you a +1. Well, gives you 4 strength, so it's a +1 over Kingdom Key, but it lowers our magic, which isn't actually that big a deal. Our magic stat is not something we worry too much about. We don't use it a ton, and when we do use it, we're actually really just using Reflect, so that's what magic is for. And Reflect damage is insane regardless of stats. It also has a good ability on it, which is Air Combo Plus, or Air Combo Boost, sorry. So now every time you use an air combo, you're going to be dealing extra damage in the air. Air combos are faster right now. So we're going to use a lot of air combos from here on.
Yeah.
And as I said again, +1 strength is a massive strength upgrade. It really does make the difference between being able to do the strats we currently are doing, or having to revert down to like level 1 damage. It's quite insane.
Yeah, just to put it in perspective, this is a 3-hour run. For the next hour, we're gonna have this Keyblade on.
Yeah, pretty much. No, over them, right?
Yeah, a bit more actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking like you had like a 54, 53 OC, something like that.
53 and change, yeah.
Yeah. I don't have the timer up, so I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And so we don't Keyblade until we get Rumbling Rose, which is about a little bit over an hour from now.
And
unless Fritz pops off and gets like a sub 2 Hollow Bastion.
that'd be crazy. It's funny for how much time you can lose in Hollow Bastion 3, it's probably my favorite world of the run.
Oh, absolutely. There's so many fun strats you can do, and one of my favorite things with it is that between beginner and crit, you actually use Comet a lot more on beginner, and it's so fun in these fights with Comet. All you see is a bunch of pretty fireworks everywhere.
Yeah. So, I've during the vast majority of the rest of the marathon, I wasn't able to attend, but so I'm just curious what everyone thinks. So, like, what was everyone's favorite showcase? I was able to come by as much as I can. I saw when Spike was here, we had a few hundred viewers, which is awesome. Like, I'm just so glad that we're getting that kind of viewership and exposure. Like the fact that he and Violin were here for a from the ground up event, really means something to us.
I wasn't really able to watch a ton. I got a few people's runs that I had on in the background, but I wasn't been too busy, sadly, to be able to watch much.
Right.
I caught a decent bit of the beginner run. That was fun. That was a good showcase of beginner. And then I think I got a little bit of Spike's run, and Swift run. Swift Shadow had a very fun. No idea what that game is. Never heard of it. But it looked very cool.
I mean, seeing Swift do anything is just awesome because Swift is very skilled and just a great spirit,
Oh, absolutely. Beast Castle. So this is the first time we're actually going to be somewhat on level for a while. Don't expect this damage to stay. This fight we technically deal 100 hits and then it ends. So we use Trendy, which deals a bunch of hits without damage, and we use the finisher, which is a bunch of hits, and then it ends. We buy that Sardonyx ring for far later in the run. It's because we don't have an extra accessory slot with that +1 string. Again, beating a dead horse at this point. Deals a lot of extra damage.
I actually didn't know the number was 100 hits, which is crazy how you can do that, get that done in like 4 fires.
Yeah.
If you group the shadows together enough.
Or you just die there, but I just use Trinity. It's a little bit more consistent. Oh man, what a difficult boss fight this is. Press and triangle. Do you do the RNG limit with magic? No, I don't do the RNG limit.
These are all frame perfect, by the way.
All of them. If you don't do them frame perfect, it might as well reset the run.
I mean, I know like there's flagpole glitch in Super Mario Bros. I mean, just wardrobe minigame.
Give me strength.
If you couldn't tell, we're being very facetious. Alright, Chicken Little. Chicken Little's good. We like Chicken Little. He whistles, things get sucked. We like it when he sucks things because they don't touch us. Watch this. Chicken whistles, please. Whistle. He's not whistling. He's being mean. Alright, there he goes. He whistles.
I want to get rid of those guys to be safe.
Yeah, they started getting sometimes Trigger will whistle and he will pull them all towards like the very back, and if he does that, it's really cool. So, other fun things Trigger will do, if you get hit, he'll throw firecrackers. That can be very bad. Hopefully we don't see that way that it becomes very bad in this one. He also will let you, for every time you deal damage to an enemy, you also get a tick of health back, which is very fun. It does make it so we can't use them as much as we would like. Like, I'm pretty sure we could skip Stitch if it wasn't for Chicken Little healing us all the time. But
Oh,
so
yeah.
be it.
Also, it is possible to one-cycle that fight on beginner.
It is. On beginner, you are, depending on what level you are, 13 or 14, there's a slightly different strat. But all you need to do, you go in the Valor form, because more damage. You break the first phase, you get the ball to come out, and then if you do a very quick combo on them, so you only want to hit them, really technically only hit X once in the fight, so you do square to launch yourself up in the air, you hit X to hit him once, and then you hit square again. If you do it all right, he just dies. It's really fun. It's very difficult at level 14 because you have to like try and whiff a hit from the extra damage you got from it.
That's interesting. I didn't know that about that it's dependent on your level.
Yep, 14 is a strength up. So if you hit 14 in Olympus, which is very fast if you do, let's Hydra die in like, God, I'm pretty sure you can kill the heads in like 2 combos. It's
Dang.
ridiculous. If you don't hit 14, it's a little bit easier, more consistently is a very slow Olympus in that regard. If you do get 14, you have a slightly inconsistent threshold. Flick actually says your full strat where you can look away from him and don't look at him, and it's like a guarantee you get the setup.
Oh.
I haven't taken the time to learn it yet. Alright, in this menu, we are taking off auto limit, we're taking beast items, as well as putting them on Soar attack. The only reason we put them on Soar attack is we don't want him to touch the next boss, just at all. If he touches the next boss, our damage is all wonky, and it makes the strat not work.
Right.
What we're going to do is try not to have him go into the window. In this, if you hold back, I don't know who found this. I've seen this since like 2013.
Right.
So somebody before that found it.
Back in the
For
day.
some reason, holding backwards on this fight causes him to go underground, which kind of just skips the cycle. Normally he goes into the window, out of the window, under the ground, and then into the chandelier. So we can just skip the whole phase. In this, you're going to be doing a full combo. It's going to push him back, and then if you time it, you can jump, hit him, and then time a finisher, and completely skip the window, which saves a good bit of time, as well as it lets you keep your drive, which is the more important thing for the next part. So this fight, without having Valor, could be very, very difficult. And now he's pretty much dead. You do a little bit of Valor combo, you get him to do the spinny attack, and then you use Beast Limit. If you don't want to use the finisher of Beast Limit, you can go with the 2 air combos.
There we go.
Very good.
Yeah. So as long as you stagger him in Beast Limit, then you're pretty much good to go.
It's one of the most difficult fights, I think, for people to learn, like, starting out.
That's right, it did take me a bit.
It's like one of the first strats that you have to learn, damage gates, because if you over-damage him, he'll DM, and if you under-damage, you can't kill him before he DMs, and so learning that second phase is actually a little bit tricky.
I remember learning it, all, like, in that context is a bit annoying since you have to, if you mess up, then you have to fight Shadow Stalker again.
Yep. 2-phase fights are so fun.
Alright. Alright, let's see how I can push a mouse across the room.
Oh, yeah. And you're gonna do a push?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very rusty. When I tried to do the push, and I realized I was trying to push her on the wrong side of the room and just said, I'm gonna relearn this. That's what happens when you don't play the game for.
Right.
This
I'm
way.
gonna guide her over here, use this RC once, and then just have her like against the wall right here, like that.
This is actually very precise. You have to be very, very careful with how you have any position.
Let's go.
There we go.
If you don't have her positioned right and Sora's on the right angle, you can just kind
There
of
we
flip past her, and that wastes more time. Getting the strat down is very tricky, and so the fact that you can do it is impressive.
Push that mouse.
For most runners, I recommend just learning how to do it with the normal
Let's go.
RC, call, do fade, and repeat. If you don't do that,
Let's go.
yeah, you likely will lose more than you will gain
This
from
way.
pushing.
So here we need to be level 12, I believe, and 526 or lower until. Am I right with the levels?
This way.
Yeah, you want to hit level 12. You want to be around 500 or less before your next level.
Let's go.
Because what we're doing is we're going to be trying to hit 14 before a certain fight. Because 14 is a damage increase.
This way.
That damage increase is very, very
Let's go.
I don't think we need to be 512. How is it?
This way.
If you're comfy with 512,
I think it was Crystal Crown who told me it was like 526 or something, but I think I'm good. Let's see. Okay, now I'm definitely good.
This way.
424, that's easily within range.
that's more. I just know it's like around the 500.
Yeah.
Under 500 is usually what I aim for.
So now we equip that Sardonyx ring, which we bought at Beast Castle. Now we have a bit more strength.
That one strength actually is very big damage difference. It will kind of determine being able to kill a Heartless in one combo or two combos, which doesn't sound like a lot until you realize that's an extra 6 hits that you're dealing,
Yeah.
all on the ground. It's very.
I was doing a race with Templeton once, and I forgot to put that on, and I was just like so confused why I was doing too little damage.
No damage. Yeah, I did a run the other day and I felt like, why is my damage so weird? I forgot both the power boost in Olympus and the Sardonyx.
Oh my goodness.
So the whole time I was like, this isn't right. Something is wrong. It wasn't until I got to I think it was like Land of Dragons 2, I realized I messed up.
Oh my gosh. So this is like effectively Chicken Little World.
Chicken Little sucks them in, lets you murder them, and we say thank you, Chicken Little. If we give them a lot of free time, maybe he'll be nice later.
Please. Alright, so I could have killed them there, well, in the air. Lost a little bit of time, that's okay. There's some timing to those reaction commands. To be able to stay up in the air and do multiple of them. I think I should have done the fire earlier after that, but oh well.
The timing is like, if you mash, you're guaranteed to get it, but if you wait too long by not mashing, you don't get it.
Right.
You get, like, with RC off, it's bizarre, and I don't fully understand it still. I feel like at a certain point, it just kind of becomes muscle memory, and you just know how to do it versus knowing why it works. Yeah, we see Chicken just sucking people in, so we can shoot fires and a finisher, which is pretty much her best damage at the moment for crowd control.
Yeah. That was a pretty good fight.
Oh, I'm also thinking beginner for damage. Oops. A little bit. The one combo versus two is a beginner combo. It's not.
Okay. So this is the toughest fight, mob fight of the world. There we go.
Because you get these lovely cars. These cars have a berserk feature, kind of, where if they're at a certain HP, they just be able to be damaged. They just kind of slide around the world a bunch and cause when they do that, it is awesome. So being able to kill them while having Chick a little supplements, so that way you can not deal with their super armor as well as not have to deal as much with them dashing around.
Oh, that was really good.
Yes, it was. And you hit 14, you got the strength upgrade.
That's right, yeah, I hit it early, so this fight will be a bit better, I guess.
I don't think it really matters.
Does it? Okay.
Anything for this way.
Well, I like to think it does. It makes me feel better. So with Trinity here...
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, this is also a point of Trinity to deal extra hits, because the less hits we deal, the quicker the finisher comes out. So if we can get the finisher to be instant from hits, that's good, because the finisher just kills them outright. So if we got a bunch of hits there, it would actually be very slow, because it would just be a lot of single damage ticks for probably like 30 seconds for how many hits you can get in that room, just so you can get the finisher off to kill it.
Yeah, my understanding is that the finisher has like a base damage that it does, and those enemies have a very little health, so it just gets rid of them. Is that accurate, Zoim?
I don't know if it's a base damage, but I do know that not having anything kills it. I don't fully understand Trinity still myself.
Right.
I just know roughly how it works. In the original release of KH2, the Japanese one, it was really weird. It would always base your damage off of your max combo count on Trinity.
Oh.
So you could do really wacky things, like just straight up one-shot bosses.
I did see those videos, like with Sayax, just you do Trinity and then he dies.
Yeah, you can kill Demix, you can kill Zigbar, I'm pretty sure Sayax, just all of them with just one-shots. Mind you, that's also only group Trinity. We haven't seen solo Trinity yet, so I haven't explained what that is.
I'm gonna heal after this.
Yeah, it's probably a smart idea.
So this is what I use instead of counter guard, you'll see. Do 2 combos here. He's gonna hit, sway a little bit, and do an air combo.
Oh, okay, yeah, this is the fastest strat.
I guess just by a little bit. Pete, save it. I mean, old Pete.
Vanilla KH2 English doesn't work like that. You have to have a Japanese copy of 2. The original Japanese KH2 Trinity is busted and it's really funny.
There we go.
English is its own separate game, pretty much, where you still use a lot of limits because limits are absurdly strong, but you sadly can't one-shot things like Sayax.
So apart from that, the first phase, which was like had a little bit of spaghetti, that was a pretty darn perfect Pete fight, which is always really satisfying.
Yeah, Pete is a... Well, I keep saying this for most bosses. It's a very, very scary boss. He, I think, 2-shots you if you get hit.
Bring it on.
He also has a lot of weird super armor during some of his attacks. Well, he will just break out and be like, alright, I'm gonna throw dice on, or throw marbles on the floor, and the marbles are stupidly high damage. He can punch you, which deals a lot of damage. Round, which can a lot of damage.
Yeah, I will be right back.
Not having him hit you is a very good thing. Oh, look, I'm alone. I get to commentate all by myself. This gummy mission is the second safest in the game. You don't really ever die. If you want the safest mission, go do Atlantica. You can start the Atlantica gummy, you can walk away, you can come back. You won't be dead. It's great. It's a very good map. This one really fun.
By the way, if I can get a moment, if we got any new donations, once again, to all you guys out there, to remind you guys why we are doing this, it is to stand up to cancer, raising money for cancer research and development for a cure. So if anybody can, once again, like, you can just donate $1, pocket change is completely fine. Any money helps at all to help eliminate cancer out of people's everyday lives. So, I just want to remind you guys why we're doing this, and we really appreciate all the support.
Thankfully, this gummy mission is pretty much.
I just explained it.
Okay.
People die pretty much.
Yeah.
To like the very end. There's no purpose. So yeah, again, thank you everybody for coming out to this marathon. It is very cool. It's good for a good cause.
Oh yeah.
Any bit of donations to help.
Insta, what? How much have we made? How are we compared to our goal?
We are over half. We're sitting at $632 out of a $1,000 goal. So we are above half, which is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
But if we can hopefully push for that $1,000, that'd be amazing.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, any small bit counts.
It really does in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, I'll let you guys get back to your commentary.
Sure. Are there any more donations to read, or?
Oh, no, unfortunately there has not been any that I've seen. It is easy to miss them. I haven't seen any. Usually I notice when the little ticker goes up from like 632. If it goes up, I know there's a donation.
Gotcha.
But for some reason, the donation list is by top donators rather than recent.
Oh.
So they don't go in order. So once again, if anybody has made any donations and I just so happen to miss it, go ahead and DM me at insta_boy with an IE, BOIE. I'm in chat if you guys, I've been sending some messages. So go ahead and DM me there and I can read them out. Like I said, it's very easy to miss them, so sorry about that if I did miss any.
Give me strength.
Pirates.
Yeah.
So pirates is another very big chicken world. We use them to do a lot of whistling, stuff on enemies. We kill enemies. It's good.
Yep.
It's also very safe. Pirates all are very used to magic, which is fun. So they also all get different stats effects, which I don't think any other enemy in the game has this effect, other than, well, a boss coming up later, much later in the run.
Right.
And so using Blizzard causes them to freeze. Fire, they get like all smoky and they start running around really fast. Using Thunder will kind of like stop them and they walk super slow, occasionally just get stunned. It's a really cool mechanic. Those are sadly the only ones with visual, only magic with visual effects. It would be cool if there was like a counter to or something, but PS2 game.
Right.
That's what we can get.
It was very interesting, actually. I just found out from Violin, but you know how Kingdom Hearts 2 pirates get SAS effects by magic? Well, in Kingdom Hearts 1, Captain Hook, which is also a pirate, has both fire. He'll start doing the exact same thing where he'll go crazy around the field, and he has a thunder rod animation when you use thunder. He'll stick his sword up and kind of have like an animation for it, and you kind of stun lock him that way.
Oh.
And so it kind of makes him weak to thunder in a way. And I thought it was a very interesting strategy in the randomizer.
There we go. I forgot to respond to your comment, Insta, about that you liked Violin's showcase of the rando. Yeah, I've only done one rando, and it was with Al, and I KH1 rando that is, and I absolutely loved it. It's so fun.
It really is. And like I said, that's one of the new things I learned about Kingdom Hearts 1, because like if I didn't see Violin's run, I wouldn't have known. Like I knew Captain Hook could get damaged by fire and run all over the place, but I did not know about the lightning rod thing.
Yeah.
That was completely new to me. That's a totally different strategy that I would have never thought of if I didn't see that video. Or that, or if I wasn't in the live stream.
Okay.
Oh, so this whole thing is another time fight. The big concern that we have with this one is lots of damage from pirates being taken, so we have to very heavily rely on getting hit and chicken to deal us. The other thing is we also want to get at least 8 kills, because experience. So getting 8 pirate kills is kind of all we aim for. they give us a lot of money, which is good to buy things later on, as well as, again, EXP. EXP is very good because it gives us damage and abilities, and mainly damage. We like damage. It's just both ways. Falling defense was a thing that you got locked in this one.
Did I reach level 2 summon? I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, you hit level.
Okay,
level
okay.
2, midway through. So the way some of the EXP works, I don't think we explained that yet.
No.
So every time the bar of the actual summon gauge drops down, so currently it has 4. So for the most you could get out of the chicken if he didn't attack anything would be 4 EXP from the single level, or the single summon. But you can actually kind of manipulate that. So if you have it go just drop slightly below one of the bars and then use a magic spell or an attack or something, it will actually bump it up, and then the second time it goes down, it'll still count actually towards the EXP for the summon. And so that's one of the ways that you can use leveling it up very quickly. The other thing is, whenever you're, I think he did in time, I'm not sure, I don't remember, you can finish a fight with Chicken Little using his FPS little. That will drain pretty much the rest of his drive and give you just an instant like 2 to 3 experience instead of wasting that by finishing the fight normally. And having that done a couple of times makes it so that way you can hit level 2, which is significantly better than level 1 here for this fight. As well as he hit level 3, which is actually quite nice. There's one fight later on having level 3 drive is
Okay.
This boat fight is probably one of the worst fights. It is both difficult as well as kind of random. Chicken, you have to rely on way too heavily for sucking things in, and you can't get hit by anything, because if you get hit by one of the cannons falling, Chicken will become useless.
Yeah.
That
happened to me once. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah,
I actually learned you can fix that by actually just getting hit by one of the pirates.
Yep, because the way that it works is Chicken will always retaliate with firecrackers after you getting hit by something. The cannon is an invisible enemy, so he will just sit there and throw fireworks infinitely until you get hit.
I knew I wasn't gonna make it through that.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you get hit by the cannonball, just get hit by a pirate. It's not the best solution in the world, but it does make things better. So Chicken isn't just sitting there throwing randomly at nothing. Also, the big reason why Fritz died there, there's a weird glitch on the second barrel. You can just kind of get stuck in the animation.
Yeah.
Isn't good. And when he got stuck there, it meant that the pirates could hit him. Pirates two-shot you, so Valor allowed him to get back to full HP. Ideally, he did what he did there, which is Valor at the last barrel, it will unlock all the heartless away, and he can safely do it. But got a bit unlucky with a really, really stupid 60 FPS fight.
Yeah, that's one of those fights where it's just so simple in principle, but yes, in practice sometimes it just goes. It's just like the game just wants you dead there, you know.
Yeah, I found that reflecting right before trying to do the RC on the second barrel sometimes helps if you get the glitch. But you still need to get hit to get out of the glitch. Alright, and then Barbosa. Oh, I forgot Barbosa. He's a pirate. He gets stunned by magic. You blazes him. He gets frozen. You combo him. He dies. This fight is one of the silliest fights. You can die incredibly easy in the beginning of it, but as soon as you get him in the sunlock, which is Blizzard's air combo, it's honestly the easiest fight in the entire game.
Yeah, I have a death there in my PB actually.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. You see how like during one of those combos, he was unfrozen, but I got a few extra hits in. Like I just did that, but just somehow like dropped the combo, and he got out, and I just couldn't freeze him back.
Yeah.
That might have been like if I didn't die to the barrel fight, that might have been a gold, because that Barbosa was really good.
Yeah, that Barbosa was very good.
Because apart from just getting the combos in on him, when he's frozen, the combos can kind of like he kind of slides around a lot, and you kind of want to keep him as still as possible.
Because the more movement he has, the further Sora has to move to make Sora combos.
Yeah.
There is a position you can get him in, but it's kind of hard to purposefully angle him in there. You can get him stuck in a corner perfectly to where he just doesn't move, and you can just wail on him the entire time.
Yeah. There's some subtleties to it, though. I guess, like, angles and also, like, a little bit of combo timing, I think.
Yeah, it's rough. I don't go for it. I don't really care enough. Also, this is the spooky dumb mission for 80%. Doesn't look too spooky yet, but
Right.
Oh boy. One of the hardest to spawn. I don't know. One of the big dudes.
Yeah.
It's so scary. So much damage. So really, your main priority here is don't get under half HP and be very good at mashing.
Indeed.
And as soon as you can kill the big dude, the safer you are. There's a clip when Logic and I both started learning how to run this game where Logic kept dying here. A very fun time where forget who, and someone's like, hey, how's the gummy mission going? God, no, Great. And now look how far it's changed.
Right.
All the 80%. I think most of the category exceptions as well.
So it's this attack right here. If you're like, there's a sweet spot that I'm gonna try to stay in. Yeah, there you go. But like, if you're anywhere up there, then you get bounced around and pretty much die most of the time.
Yeah, if you do get caught, it will throw you around the entire map and you just can't do anything. Even you trying to spin out of it, you can't really because you're getting hit, so it can't even spin. And
Yeah.
not good. Waste a lot of time to die to them. Don't do it.
It's
Did
one of
the
the
train
most.
come through on my mic?
What's that?
Is there a train coming through on my microphone?
No.
Okay, good. There's a very loud train right outside.
Okay. Yeah, dying in a gummy mission is one of the most discouraging places to die.
So we're gonna die here instead.
Yep.
We still need to die in the run, so instead of doing it in the gummy mission, we might as well do it there.
6 only, okay.
Alright, so Fritz bought a Thundara trinket. That Thundara trinket is plus 2 defense, I believe, as well as a 20% resistance to lightning
Something like
damage. It's actually very, very good. We're going to be putting that on now. It will allow us to take a couple extra hits, which is good, especially in Space Paranoids where everything is lightning damage.
Whoops.
And then you also bought a bunch of ethers. The ethers are very, very, very useful. We're going to start using a lot of ethers coming up soon, so... And that's also the earliest chapter to buy both. So it's a good little top.
Yeah.
The menu there is one of the longest in the game, I think.
I think it's the longest one. I
The
did it
longest
almost
or
perfectly.
second longest? Almost. You change Aladdin's customized the Sora attacks. He won't attack anything. You put on... You do goofy to this. I personally put him on the Sora attack myself. So he's been covered for the run. Because he messes up like a one strat and I don't like it. Then you also turn a bunch of abilities off and then on. One of them being like aerial spiral we put on, which is like the opposite of dive, where if you're in the air, you'll now do a spiral down into an enemy, which is very good. Do you put anything else?
There's high jump and damage drive, I believe.
Okay, both of those I skipped, so that's why I wasn't sure.
Okay.
And then putting on the Thundara trinket for that extra damage resist, as well as a couple of ethers, I think, right?
I think there's one more ether, and we take all of Aladdin's items. You know, like, so we bought 6 ethers, and we took Aladdin's 2. You know, we route them much better than the AI does.
Yeah, the AI will see Donald like use thunder twice and be like, "Oh, you got it. Here you go."
Yep. Yeah, ethers are the most powerful item in this run.
Oh, by far. Ethers are very cheap, and they also fully restore your MP if you're not an MP recharge. And so you can do things like this.
Yeah.
Cast an absolute ton of Reflect and Blizzard, and then throw an Ether and repeat the whole thing. We also got Reflect from Timeless?
Yeah, from
Timeless.
Pete, yeah.
So, Reflect, what it does is it is a defensive move as well as a very strong offensive move. If you get hit while casting Reflect, you won't take any damage. The Reflect will then shoot off a small ring around you of damage. And, well, just look at this. Just look.
Yeah. And the fun part is it doesn't do damage based on what kind of attack or how much damage you would have taken. It does damage based on, I think, what, your magic stat?
It does damage based off of magic stat, yeah. So the higher your magic stat, the higher your damage output line for Reflect. And so, some of the categories that I like to run, your Reflects are really, really stupidly strong come in game.
Oh yeah.
Like, all the final fights pretty much die with the 2 Reflects. We don't do combos. We walk over them, purposefully get hit twice, so we can have Reflect damage go off. It is that strong.
And it's so cheap also. It only uses 10 MP.
And you start with like 100?
Something like that.
Yeah, anyway, it's a lot. A lot of uses and a lot of damage. Also, we have Wisdom Thorns that also came from Timeless. We're going to be leveling it up here because the Wisdom, we don't actually use Wisdom Thorns for anything other than the Reflect that we're doing just there. That's just to level it up. Because Reflect, or not Reflect, Wisdom levels up based off of Heartless killing. So, killing a bunch of very beefy Heartless, it gives us the XP, which gives us quick run. Quick run is well, 2 things. It'll be one of our main defenses options, so we can get away from enemies very quickly, as well as it being very good movement. So they're just running everywhere now, we can dash, which so fast. It doesn't seem like much, but it's so nice to have.
Just very slightly under damage there.
Which, yeah. The way that you can consistently get the kills, you have to time a Reflect properly, so the Reflect and the Trinity go off at the same time. So all the hits from Trinity will start counting towards they'll start counting up towards Trinity. So again, really dumb. The fact that you almost got it without having very good had a lot of space. Oh yeah, Donald also has comment now, which is I think the first limit for besides me. Limits will use all of your MP, but they're also very good damage. And so in the case of Donald, we're using it for both crowd control as well as a lot of damage output. And then Valor here is damage.
Yep. That was a decent fight. So that had those enemies have a lot of HP gates where after a certain amount of damage they'll just explode into their little miniature Heartless counterparts. And you have to get rid of all of them to make them come back. It's a fun fight.
You want to guess what a synth item both of those drop?
What synth item what?
You want to guess what the synth item, the Ice Cube and the tiny fire dudes drop? Because, you know, they're tiny.
Isn't it the gem?
So, yeah, they drop gems.
Which is, yeah, that's...
Why?
I know, it's strange. I only knew that because I was grinding. Yeah. I only knew that because I don't know why, but I was synth grinding a level 1 something not too long ago. So I do have a level 1 data orb file.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but I I ended up making another level 1 file because I don't have one that I can fight Sephiroth with. I wish you can just refight Sephiroth in the same way you can refight Lingering Will. That's right, there's a mod. I saw one on YouTube.
Oh, I was just assuming.
Well, I mean, I saw this was like before the PC mod even came out. I saw like some mod for it on YouTube.
Okay.
Which is nice. I don't. That's also right. I'm playing this on the PS4. That's just because what I've always done.
Also, PS4 is faster than the PC release by a good bit of time, actually. I think there's like a very rough estimate in terms of how fast the loads are. I think the PS4 is about 5, maybe 6 minutes faster than PC. So, it's not a very good port if you're trying to go for like the top fastest times. If you want very, very fast looking times, run it on PS4 or PS5. But the PC is all I have available to me at this exact moment.
Right.
I get stuck with those horrible load times.
Yep. Oh, also.
PC on KH2 does use loads still. They haven't changed the Windows ones.
Oh, they haven't.
Have a load remover. Yeah, they have a load remover, but they don't have a. They don't have a thing that can say, "Oh, submit without loads."
I didn't know that part. Oh, also, I just like having it on PS4 because that's, when this was in its prime popularity as a speed game, it was on PS4. So like, to compare yourself to those times is, I would say, preferable. Or that's just my opinion,
So I'm really surprised they don't, like they have the load remover. I'm surprised they still use the loads because everybody's PCs are different,
Yeah, I need to find a good thing for the mod. Like, hey, can you fix it?
Yeah, because like basically at that point it's whoever has the strongest PC wins because
Even my PC, which is a very, very beefy one, it still blows very slow compared to one that isn't as fast. From what I've seen, testing wise, it's like my laptop, which is like old i5 with 8 gigs of RAM, has like a really bad graphics. Well, I think it's running Intel integrated graphics. Still only loads like 2 minutes slower than like brand new PC sitting next to me.
Yeah.
Well, of course, there's been a lot of problems with some of the PC ports because it could be like an issue. Because I'd imagine like PS3 was a better system than or like a stronger system than the PS2, but yet the load times were very bad.
Yeah. I reckon that I'd imagine that if there was enough people were playing or running this on PC, then they'd make it standard.
Probably. I mean, one of the issues, like, I run it on PC. I've been running KH1 on PC, but I don't want to run 2 because of all the crashing, and I think a lot of people feel the same way.
It was a bit better now with crashing from testing it with the new patch. It's not perfect. It's kind of like 1 in regard of that. You can still randomly have a run die for no reason, but it's a lot more consistent to play.
Yeah, I definitely heard that, which is, kudos on Square Enix for, actually listening to us on Twitter.
Make sure just not release a broken game.
Right.
I agree with that.
But, and shoutouts to Violin for kind of being the candlelight for that, organizing us to try to get their attention. I mean, absolutely, it's something that should have been prevented, but...
Yeah, 100%.
Alright, this fight right here is kind of interesting. You actually purposely are going to be taking damage. You want to wait about half a second, and if you do that, the little jack-in-the-box is going to crawl back. If you do that, you slide dash in, you get 2 reflects for a bunch of damage, then you purposefully take a shot. The whole reason you do that is to get EXP boost, and you can get EXP boost to 18, which is another strength upgrade, meaning more damage.
Yep.
Not hitting 18 actually makes the next couple of fights very slow. It's not a good thing if you miss it.
Right. It's funny how I don't consider that as urgently as I would consider something as like getting to Shan Yu at level 10. Because like I'm this far into the run, it's like I just execute my script. I don't really think about it. This upcoming fight is one of my favorites.
It's also incredibly hard.
Oh yeah, it's tough, but it's fun. You can go ahead and explain it.
Three different potential openings, as well as, well, if you're lucky, there's only one in, but potential for 3 other middle phases. Now all three openings are different because they can eat a kid at random. In this case, it was I don't remember the kid's name. All she does is she goes up in the air, then she will start spinning around and will shoot fireballs out of her fingers. It sucks, because sometimes on the map you just cannot reach her, and you have to pray to be able to catch them. So once you get past the first health gate, you can actually... Oh, interesting. You don't get the second kid.
Yeah, I did. Oh, there's only 2 kids.
Yeah, if you end the Trinity early and then do the RC that he does while eating the kid, you can just skip the thing entirely.
We'll talk about that then.
But anyway, it's a very specific combo for getting the right damage output with power, but it does make so you don't have all 3 kid phases go through, which is incredibly helpful. Then you just get the one where he eats all of them, which is honestly easier to deal with than any one single kid together. And then you just kind of finish him off with the solo Trinity.
That was, for the way I executed, that was a perfect fight.
Yes, that was very, very well.
Whoa!
See, we're gonna see a bit more. If you have just Sora and not Donald and Goofy in the party and you use Trinity Limit, Sora's just going to use what essentially is Break in Group Trinity, but this time it'll deal damage. So we actually see it used quite often at this point at this point in the run. I think we use it pretty much in every world, I think? Maybe not every world, but we use it a lot. The damage output is quite nice. It doesn't really do too terribly much in terms of like using help. Even though you're using a lot of MP to establish the stagger. Sometimes we use it to kill a boss. A couple times we actually use it to stun a boss and in place. So that way we can go into the very point. It's very useful. In KH1 English, it was your main damage source.
Yeah. So I need to get back to drive 3 drive there to get Chicken Little out.
Oh yeah. You need 3 drive because Chicken's very good. Boogie will put out these little bags in the second phase, and these bags are focus. If you get unlucky, you can get an emerald blue, which is very scary. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That was so unlucky. Emerald blues are what you saw there. They have this wind attack pattern that can go around them, and if they do that, sometimes Chicken is cool and will whistle and suck them in, so you don't get hit. Other times you get incredibly unlucky, and that happens.
I don't really know what I could have done about that.
Dismiss some prey that you can get envy off, maybe?
Maybe. I wasn't paying attention for, I wasn't paying attention to Oogie, so like I didn't hear that he was bringing the fist out. That fist is always a one-shot. Just... Yeah,
on crit, if you get hit by that fist, you're dead. There's a really weird thing I haven't been able to do pretty, where for some reason if you jump into it, you don't die. But
oh.
I don't know, I've only ever done that once. I think Sonic and Wyatt saw it once when I was like at a GDQ. I was just messing with the game and that happened. And we were like, what? Never again.
Alright.
Always on crit if you get hit by it.
If I died again, I was gonna get kind of upset.
That was terrifying. So, the other thing with Oogie for this fight, I don't think it's explained. You have to hit all these bosses. When you're hitting these bosses up, I think there's even 12?
Yep.
Yeah, like 12 bosses, and he will then have the glass standing and break the fall down. And that's when you can damage him. So dying to any phase of this fight is very, very big time.
Yeah, it's a
for the fact
big auto.
that you have to go through the entire 12 bosses again.
Frame perfect. Oh, it didn't go to him though. What the fuck?
Don't say bad words.
Oh, sorry. I haven't seen that. Like, even you get the frame perfect transition, but it goes somewhere else. I haven't seen that.
I also really love when it says go center, and it doesn't.
Oh, did it say that?
Yeah, it said go center.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And that's also technically not just frame perfect, it's also random. Sometimes it works, other times it doesn't. Sometimes the blue square will be in the middle and it will let you go up. Sometimes it will say go center, even though the blue is all the way on the right. Thanks, video.
Sorry about my language, guys.
It doesn't actually like. It doesn't matter.
Nice thing about these RCs is that you're invulnerable for a little bit, so you can go right through that thunder.
You can also
Uh-oh.
getting hit by
Okay.
or that. Okay. You're a lot braver than I am.
I didn't know what to do. I forgot I had potions. I was like, I could have healed Jack.
I would have just used Solo Trinity and Parade.
Oh, did I have magic? Okay.
Yeah, you have full MP. I mean, if you're gonna get Jack, what else would you have done if you didn't have MP?
Gans call.
But no MP.
Oh, true. Yeah, the thing is, that's never happened. That's why I wasn't really thinking. It never happened to me, I mean.
This is personally one of my favorite fights in the game.
Oh yeah, this is a great one.
This is going to show off the power of Genie, who we very recently got, as well as show off the power of Magnet and Trinity a lot more. Magnet we just got. Chicken Little is now dead to us. We can become the crowd control.
Right.
Magnet, and we use Genie and pretty much everything else. So the way Magnet works is it deals a very small amount of damage by itself, and then every time that you can get something to go in and out of Magnet, so in this case we use Genie to bounce with his limit thing. Genie, it's hard to explain what it was. But his little sonic limit punch thing, he essentially knocked all of the nobodies in and out of Magnet so many times that things have already dealing a lot of damage together. And here we're going to use Magnet, we're going to use Trinity. Yo. So what happened there is if you angle yourself perfectly well with the Magnet and the Berserkers on the ground, it's very precise actually to get what just happened. You use Ultima. Ultima will bounce the Berserkers in and out of the Magnet, dealing an astronomical amount of damage and doing what just happened, which is killing all three of them at once.
I just have to say, oh sorry, I just have to say, really good job stopping Fritz on that one.
Thank you.
Fritz. that was very impressive. Like I've done that trick in this B1. It's difficult. That is not easy at all.
That's a rough one.
The positioning and the timing you have to learn to be able to do that is very difficult.
Yeah.
You have to, there's a lot of timing of when you get Magnet popping off. You have to know how to quickly menu in Trinity, because just a little bit of difference in terms of, oh, you're too far away, it won't work right. Oh, you use Magnet too high or too low,
Yeah.
it won't work right. There's so much you have to be positioning there that it's one of the hardest strats to learn, but it's so satisfying when you can pull it off.
Oh yeah. And there are, real quick, there's several ways to go about the first two phases of that fight. I just did what I'm comfortable with, and also like things can vary a lot. Like you saw, like, you know, there was a few stragglers. That very commonly happens.
Yeah, the biggest way to get consistent in the first two parts is practice a lot.
Yeah.
And then also learn how to recover from a lot of issues, because sometimes Genie can knock things out of the magnet, sometimes they spawn too far away from you. There's all kinds of little issues that can happen with the first two phases, depending on how you go about it, and you just have to kind of get lucky. But then the ending, there's also other strats that are far easier, and if you're starting off with learning this run, please do not learn that.
Right.
It's not worth it. You can do all kinds of other ones. Like, one of the easiest ones is just use magnet, and then use finishing loop. And that's it. And you use an ether, and you repeat. Chicken Little is also very good. Chicken Little will just suck things in. You do 2 hits in the finishing loop. It's a good ability. I think we put on, but we haven't used it really yet.
Not really, yeah.
That's like the 2 safest combos that you can possibly true. You doing the magnet one, while it is fast and pretty looking, it's not worth learning in the beginning.
So right there,
And then-
I unequipped aerial finish.
Yeah, taking off aerial finish because at this point, it's not useful for any bosses afterwards. You don't actually need aerial finish for the up to this point even, but it does make a few fights a little bit safer feeling, so that's
Yeah.
why Fritz does it. We also took Tron's items, because, like, why are you giving your party members items? Just done it.
Let's go.
We just gotta find
Did
that,
you lose
that
it?
one box.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
I just noticed that it's the box after the gap, so... I did lose it for a second, but I knew generally where it's gonna be. It always spins around like 2 and like a quarter times.
Proud of you.
Hey, Zeldin.
Ugh.
How are you? Thanks for coming out. Hope you're doing all right. We are raising money for Stand Up to Cancer. Oh, and here comes the light cycle.
We also got Stitch. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is also one of the worst spots to possibly die on. Like, so far, Hades Escape has been really... Hades Escape and Oogie are the 2 big ones to die to. Here's also a really bad one, because all of that movement you just saw, plus picking up the big chest, you have to be able to redo it.
Yeah.
So, if it's an opportunity, we did get a donation in.
Ooh!
Go for it.
I think... Yeah, I think...
Hey, fantastic. Alright, we got Blazin' Beza with the $25.
What's up, Beza?
Congrats. Congrats and good luck to all of the remaining runners, which actually it's only Fritz. Fritz is the final run today, which is really dope. And big shout out to my man Fritz. Continue smashing this run along with Cancer. Much love.
Thanks, Beza. You're the man. There we go. It's a little parry boost.
Yeah, the green dudes can put up a shield, and if you're actually good at this game, unlike myself, you can time yourself hitting the parry and going around the corner, and you just get launched forward really far. I am very bad at the timing, and it tends to get me killed over actually saving any time, so I never go for it.
Right.
There's also a specific path you want to go down that cycle. You're going to have a split that's like, oh, you can go right or left. If you go right, you're actually just straight up losing time. Plus, it's a harder route to go down.
I didn't know that until like after like 2 years of running this game.
Yeah. So going right loses you time from it being a longer route. Plus, there's more spawns and it's more difficult.
Yeah.
So you just don't want to deal with it at all. Going left for some reason is just do it.
Right.
It's easier. It's faster. It's good. We like that.
If there's... I don't know if there's a lingering will incentive, but I'm willing to give him a try, or if Iva's here, I'm sure would love to do that, because Iva is experienced in that.
I don't know. Do I have a...
I'm doing good.
I don't think I do. I can go farm drive recovery.
Alright, Stitch Grind.
Yeah, so we took a hit. Got from the EXP. Oh, the EXP boost is an ability we put on in Angela. Forgot to mention that. It makes it so when you're below half HP, you get double EXP, which is great. And then with Stitch, we're just going to be doing Magnet, finishing with Magnet, finishing with over, and over, and over, and you win. We're going to be wanting to get around 2300 EXP to level 20, or 2400 EXP to level. That's kind of going to be all the grinding we do for the rest of the month. From here on out, we're just gunning it to the end. We just have picking up a few things, like bulky vendors, which will be in a bit. We make up all the rest of the experience. The only other level that we really need to get to this point is making sure we get to level 30 before gaining a buff. Otherwise, our damage is ferociously.
So I just go to level 23 here.
You do? Okay. I wasn't sure if you still do the full EXP route, or so the 24 to 24.
There we go. And like with 31 seconds ago, it's easily possible to go faster than that. You really want to try to keep the enemies all together, which is tough.
You can manipulate them with your camera, but it makes it very difficult because you have so many things around you. It's hard to not get hit. Oh yeah, another thing that Stitch does, since we never really mentioned it, we just said that we picked them up. So Stitch will randomly decide to heal your MP back to full, which is fantastic.
Isn't that the main reason why we have him there?
Yep. Well, two reasons. He also doesn't heal you on hit or throw potions at you.
Right.
Other players do, so we can stay in EXP boost. The other thing that Stitch does is he actually will block hits, so a lot of fights become very trivial when you summon Stitch. Like, if you ever have trouble with Nemix, casually, just summon Stitch.
Yep.
It will make your life a million times easier, even at level 8. Hostile Program is one of those fights that actually looks very simple. All we did was use Comet, but that is one of the most difficult ones to summon. You have to position yourself just right, so that way when he goes to try and punch you, he will actually punch into the wall, and by doing that, he gets locked in place. And if he doesn't get locked in place, he runs off, and Comet just misses, and you get none of the orbs, and it sucks. So, learning the positioning for that is very, very tricky. Once you get that though, it's pretty easy. You limit deals a lot of damage, and you use a second Comet, and Comet just kind of melts his HP, and he dies.
That strat didn't go exactly as planned, but I was able to save it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of an issue, but it wasn't big enough to really point out.
So apparently it's now official. If we get to $700, we'll have someone, hopefully Iba, doing Lingering Will. Because Iba is fantastic at that at level 1. You talked to me about, you showed me it, and I was actually thinking about saying, like, I actually just don't want to do it, you know? I'm just more comfortable with this one.
Yeah, understandable. The new fight, it is a lot of positioning, so you have to learn, like, where to stand and all that. Mm-hmm. But it saves you an Ethan, and you get to use Rising Sun. And Rising Sun is such a fun RC.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like zoom around in the air and things like that.
So we did get a donation, if we have time to read it out.
Sure.
Okay, we got one from Sammy Souza.
Oh!
Hope I said your name right. That is a $10 donation with no message. But
Thanks,
thank
Sammy.
you, Sammy Souza.
That's Iva's wife.
Ah, I see.
Thanks, Sammy. And Sammy's super great, super sweet.
The ending of that fight, for a majority of it was use chicken, but we need our drives back for this actually. So what we did was we dismissed chicken, we caught some dancers in a magnet, and then we used what is it called? It's not ultimate.
Major drive.
Major drive, yeah. So major drive is going to knock enemies in and out a bunch of magnets. Magnet counts all those hits for your drive blade.
Which is super convenient.
It's very convenient. It allows us to just almost instantly go back from 2 drives all the way up to 5, which will mean we can use limit.
Alright. Demix was another tough fight to learn, but fun fight to like have learned. Are you there, Zorn?
I am.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I just didn't know if you cut out or not.
No, I don't. Well, this is a very difficult section. If you die to any one of these fights, you have to restart all the way back at them. So, don't die. Which is easier said than done, especially when you're up.
Oh yeah.
A lot of these enemies can two-shot you, a lot of them can just combo you straight into death, and there's not much you can do about it. So the first fight is Yuffie. Yuffie isn't too bad. Yuffie's actually pretty much one of the easiest, considered one of the easiest heroes. Leon is not too bad since we use limit form, so we get a lot of damage off pretty quickly. But Tifa and Cloud, both of them have a lot of morning stars, and morning stars are deadly. Very.
That was a good face.
Combo move? Yeah, that was very cool. Morningstar can do multiple attacks that are scary. One of them being a very strong punch. They can do a bunch of weaker small punches and if you get stuck in that, pretty sure you die. I'm not sure if you die with armor or not. It's been a while since I've had armor in crit. So, don't get hit by that. They can also just spike you. They jump up in the air and deal a massive amount of damage. That doesn't one-shot you, but you get less with pretty much no HP.
Yeah.
It is very scary when you get hit. You get tossed up in the air, and all you can do is... Oh, we hit 700.
Nice.
You guys have an opportunity, I can read out that donation.
I think after this fight, should be okay.
Go ahead and cue me in whatever.
We're good.
Yep, go ahead.
So once the last wave spawns... Oh yeah, you go with the donation.
Okay. Okay, we got, 20. $32 by Asura. More for the fight against cancer.
Thank you so much.
That hit us the $700 goal for the incentive Lingering Will by Iba, correct?
Let's go.
Yeah, so now we're going to be doing Lingering Will after Stopping Fritz is done with his Kingdom Hearts 2 run.
Perfect. Alright, Zoim, go for it.
So, one of the good things with Cloud is once the last wave spawns, it kind of just goes sicko mode.
Yeah.
It goes crazy. Omni Slash happens. It's fantastic. Everything happens. So surviving up until that wave is very good, but you have home runs to die. Like so many possible ways to die up until that point. It is incredibly scary. Multiple times, Fritz almost got killed, but was saved by just like a quick reflect, or even just Cloud coming over and staggering an enemy. I think that was the biggest one.
It's a fight where you have to be really aware of your surroundings. You can't just be focused on what attack you're doing. You gotta be focused on what's going on around you.
You also have to oddly be very aggressive. of the big tests of skills for the cat is being able to go throughout that stuff. 1K is also very scary, which is what we're on right now. Oh,
Whoops.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna use a Rising Sun. Hopefully that spawns a... I need a, There we go. Oh! Okay, I'm just gonna do what I can right now.
don't forget you have limit point here.
Yeah, I think all of the, sentry bots are gone.
So, the scary part with this fight is, if you die to it, clearly you have to redo all the progress up to that, plus whatever left for the 1,000 kills. The other thing is, everything on this on crit can kind of combo you to death. We do have once more now, which prevents us from dying to a combo attack, but still not at all something you want to rely on.
Yeah, so you see how like quickly I was cutting through enemies at the beginning, but then just kind of slowed down at the end? That's just something that can happen in that fight. There's just a lot going on. You want to have, ideally, the sentry bot RC as always, but I just ran out of that opportunity. So you see a lot of them were visible, but not like technically loaded properly.
Yeah.
Just this feeling.
The background is just like a GIF. That's it.
Yeah.
Just little heartless dancing around, but not actually being spawned in. So visually it looks great, but a PS2 can't handle 1,000 heartless being spawned in, so that's still carried over to all the ports.
Yeah.
Thankfully, honestly, it would be way worse if it was all spawned in.
Alright, let's see if I can get
The
this.
surveyor bot. Oh, are you gonna do the Trinity thing?
Whoops, maybe not.
Gather. Infernal. Gather. Give me strength.
So, if this guy got Magnus and not Blizzard midair, you can magnet one of the Dragoons kind of in a weird spot, and go into Ultima. And the same thing that we saw happen to the Berserkers would happen to this fight. Just everything just immediately melts and dies, and it's so satisfying when you can get it.
Yeah. I think it just
Thankfully, it was a very good back.
bumped the X button instead of the circle, which is, whatever. I'm glad I was able to save it.
All of those entrances and exits right there, that was actually manipulating a fun mechanic called bulky vendors, which are a heartless spawn. So only specific rooms can actually spawn them in, and quite a long time ago, a runner found out that if you go in and out of one of the rooms that can spawn it 3 separate times, it will just make it so all the rest of the worlds will spawn them. The reason we want it is it will allow us to pick up extra XP, so we can hit level 30 much faster, which is very, very, very useful.
Yeah.
So the first time we're going to see one is going to be in Halloween Town. So not for a little bit.
Right.
For now, we have more pirates.
So
We also
we leave there because we just go to Beast Castle to get Rumbling Rose's Keyblade, but then we need to get more strength before we go back.
Yeah. So Zolden is actually very similar in terms of damage, but no matter what. I mean, for the old strat, but we don't have that strat anymore. The biggest reason why you leave is now you come back with Duck Flare, and Duck Flare just obliterates Zolden instantly. Also, Rumbling Rose, the ability on it is going to be a finishing plus. So on beginner and standard or proud, please don't play standard or proud, please. God, please don't. So on beginner, you only get one finisher until you get Rumbling Rose. So picking up Rumbling Rose is incredibly helpful because now we can do a lot of the fun combos that Crit has been doing, but on beginner. And now, beginner, I mean, now that we have it on Crit, we have 3 finishers, not just 2.
Back off. Back off. Back off. Freeze. Freeze. Light.
As we saw there, we had 2 regular hits, finishers in all cases actually do a significant amount of damage extra. And we're going to be using Master Form, which is an entirely aerial form.
Dang it.
Ah. Almost got it. So all hits in Master Form are actually going to be aerial. So if you ever want like just really good damage, put on Hero's Crest on Master Form because no matter what you're doing, you're going to be dealing your combos. A couple other fun points about Master Form is you can actually cast magic infinitely.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
instead of only getting like 5 stun splinters in your combo before you have to reset, you go into your MP. And so what Fritz ended up doing there was he abused that at the very end of his first combo. So he hit him a bunch, got off 2 finishers, and then he used it as his last finisher to freeze the boss and hold them in place, so that way he could reset combo. And then instead of doing single hits, he used Reflect like 4 times in the air.
Yeah,
That way
3,
he
yeah.
get to his 3. It wasn't 3. I always do 4.
Oh, I do 3, okay.
Bad. I'm just dumb with discount. So you do reflects in the air, so that way you can get through the extra air combo plus that which Master just inherently has, as well as get you straight to your game. Because this game is cool, and Master Form is one of the best forms.
Oh yeah. So we did these Magnet Trinity combos on these gamblers because we need to get our drive back.
Yeah, and the same way that like a group trinity works, all it does is it knocks enemies into the magnet, and when you're at no MP, you get drive back faster. So having also using magnet or magic in general causes drive to come back faster. So magnet plus the solo trinity, lots of magic hits, no influence of drive. It's a very good combo. Plus also you get so much damage. You get all the damage from all the little magnet hits as well as all of the trinity hits.
Yeah.
So you can kill gamblers very, very quickly.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna take my Discord headphones off for this fight. Go ahead and explain it.
Okay. So this fight is incredibly difficult. There's a bunch of weird phases in it. You can use a bunch of magic, as well as pick up coins. So, in the very beginning, we're going to be casting the blizzard. We're going to freeze them in place. We're going to go pick up those coins.
Let's get some.
We're then going to use cool thunders on him immediately to get more coins to drop out of the box. We're going to reflect, and then freeze them again. That's the end of phrases. And here, we're going to be using Genie in a very not fun casual way. And what you have to do is you start a combo, and then if you reset it before your finisher, so by changing Genie's drive form, you actually can get infinite combos. This works both on the ground and in the air. But the reason we do it here is we keep on stalling on things. Get into a second phase, he picks up more coins, you do the RC, you choose thunders, all the coins are gone. Are you gonna go for it? Yeah. Alright. So after the one combo, he's going to be going ahead and using Comet here. Comet is going to do similar to what we had Genie for, which is going to be keeping him stun
Looking good so
and
far.
using a lot of coins. Yes, this is a very, very clean fight so far. We also need it so that way we can get our drive back, because this last phase we're going to Master Form. Master Form Thunder is very, very strong against this boss, because it will hit him multiple times, as well as roll forward spinning around like that. All of his Keyblades are going to slowly focus. And when he has coins and is in this color, he actually just drops into the critical hit instead of taking damage. So you have just enough MP to be able to get all your thunders out. So that way you can put all the coins in the chest, go back in the combat, and then
That would have golden so hard.
perfect. Jesus. Could you like let me or teach me how to do that fight? I never can pull that off. Ever.
That's the best I've ever been able to do it. Actually, I think I did it almost as good once, also in a marathon. It's only in marathons. I'm highlighting that.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Now we got our buddy Duck Flare.
Duck Flare is used on Yeah, so I think all but like 3 fights.
Something like that.
It's ridiculous. Like, out of all but 3 bosses, I can say. Duckler is on English. All versions of English Stage 2. For some reason, Duckler just lasts forever.
The finisher.
The finisher of Duckler lasts so long. Where Japanese copies of the game, it only lasts a few seconds. Like 2, I think, for the finisher.
Something
English
like that.
lasts like 4, almost 5, something ridiculous. It also has this really weird property where aerial spirals and aerial dives will deal full damage on every single hit. So one thing with aerial dives and spiral is their first hit will deal more damage than the rest of it. So it's big hit, lots of tiny chip damage. For some reason, Duckler just resets all of that, and it makes it so that way every single hit is really big damage.
Okay.
So we're gonna see that being abused multiple times throughout the rest of these fights. Also, bulky vendors there. He got in the EXP booster. Recently, some of the sticks will prevent themselves from dying from the full combo. We got what we get 4,000 EXP from bulky vendors. It's ridiculous.
I know, it's insane.
That's another reason you should run JJ. Is a beginner also has to pick up bulky vendors.
I'm considering what to run next. I'm considering doing a longer category.
Let's go.
Yeah. Alright, bless emotes.
RNG. All you do here is you get presents. That's it. It's luck. It's entirely luck. This is so far really, really, really bad luck. There's 3 different sizes of, or 4 different sizes of presents. There's the single boxes. There's the 3 boxes. Ooh. Alright, well maybe I spoke too soon. So there's single boxes, 3 boxes, I think 10 and then 25 boxes. Ideally you get nothing but the biggest ones.
I think the biggest are 20.
Oh yeah, it is 20, not 25. There, you are correct.
Yeah. Alright, so here's our first use of Duck Flare. You can, this is a fun fight.
Duck Flare goes very strong. The year is the finisher. It just lasts so long. All of that damage. We actually dealt so much damage with Duck Flare that we hit the HP gate and just kind of have the top. Now we're going to be going for another Duck Flare.
Good. Wasn't doing the aerial spirals. We got it though, it's okay.
Yeah,
Damage was fine.
There's a distance in here for getting the spirals off. Or the dives off.
Yeah.
Very clean fight. Duck Flare destroys everything. We're using it pretty much on every single fight until the end of the game.
Pretty much every fight that allows it. So unpopular opinion that I think this is the worst world in the game.
It's one of the worst.
And it's just me because just carpet controls, they're a bit jank. I don't like them. I don't know where I am on EXP. I'm just gonna get this bulky vendor. Sometimes you don't need them, but
I think you're very good on the XP.
yeah.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, we're way fine.
Very good. So one thing that Fritz did here that you don't actually need to do is putting on Decisive Pumpkin early. The benefits of putting it on early are just you have better range, but the damage output for the next 2 fights, it does not matter.
Right.
I actually prefer having Rumbling Rose because of the extra finisher. Some people prefer the range, so follow the preference in this specific matter. You do have to put it on later, so I put it on personally at different times. It does not matter where you do it.
I actually didn't know. I mean, I saw that people would have Rumbling Rose on during right here in crit. I didn't know that actually didn't matter. You know, this is just another thing for me that this is the way I learned it. I'm just gonna keep it this way.
Sorry, I dropped my water bottle.
Oh.
Alright, so yeah, beginner use Rumbling Rose because we need the second finisher, but on crit,
Right.
you use Rumbling Rose just simply because it's sometimes nicer to have that finisher.
Yeah.
But also, some people do like the range. I personally stick with the finisher because I kind of like having it for backup. All a matter of preference. So, one big thing as well, carpet controls very, very awkwardly. You have to use like your camera to move it up and down, and then you have Sora deciding sometimes that he wants to do completely weird attacks that don't actually work. But just plainly they just don't work the way that they're doing. Carpet has been seemingly fine.
Yeah.
I occasionally you'll have him like instead of hitting the enemy in front of him, he will try and do an aerial spiral straight down into the floor, or he will try and do a slide dash for no reason to an enemy directly in front of him, and it'll just completely work. Carpet sucks. It is horrible.
Oh yeah.
It has killed so many runs just from the sheer fact of it deciding I don't want to function correctly.
Yeah. I have a funny story about this fire switch. So, in my, not my current PB, but my previous PB, I just did that fire too early, and then the enemy started chasing me. So, just to those switches alone, I lost about 45 seconds. Just like trying to ether, be safe, and fire that switch. It took me about 12 tries. I need to find it and like post it to like speedrun fails or Glad Jonas or something.
You are also very scary because you don't despawn any of the Heartless.
That's
so
right.
You can actually be safe. So on the first switch, if you go up to the top, then you go all the way down to the bottom of the building, all the way back up, kind of with a little bit of time in between.
Yeah, I just never bothered to learn that.
Yeah, it's literally go down, wait a second, go up, all of them despawn.
Gotcha.
And then for the second switch, for how low you were going, it is faster technically to do it that way, but if you stay high, you don't get any spawns.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll head into the bridge if you either go really high and then go down to the switch, or if you stop at the edge of the bridge for a second and then continue moving on, everything just despawns as well. It's quite nice, it's a little bit safer, a bit slower. So, I never do switches without despawning.
Right.
I'm too scared to die.
I'll have to learn that and give it a try.
It's very, very easy.
It's so much worth it, you know, because it just eliminates a huge risk.
Right, it's like... I don't know, I prefer consistency in this game when I play, so they're going for
Oh yeah.
fastest. Especially on crit, I'd rather have a consistent strat over a faster strat.
Alright, so we reached level 30 pretty early in this auto-scroller, which is our last EXP threshold. I wasn't sure where I was in EXP earlier, that's why I got that bulky vendor, but in hindsight I didn't need to, but oh well.
So, hitting level 30, again... Sorry. Anyway, hitting level 30 is very strong, very good for Genie part. It's allowing us to get above level 1 damage. If you don't hit level 30, you have to do the level 1 strat because your damage is that bad.
Mm-hmm.
This is the earliest damage floor increase that you can. It massively speeds up.
Oh yeah. What?
There's one thing that this game is very good with, is unlike KH2, where level 1 damage, if you don't have EXP, game has a minimum damage stat, so every ability has a minimum amount of damage, which makes it so. Even every time I say level 1 damage, yeah, it's pretty low compared to what you're seeing now. But it's so much better than what you'd expect. Like, come after the final Fantasy fight and the Thousand Heartless battle, pretty much most of the game is very similar between characters. The damage is not.
Yeah, it's pretty darn close, the damage floor in, like, End of the World, or the End of the World, the world that never was.
Yeah, the damage floor. It's really funny, the fact that almost every strat is identical. I think the only difference is, you might have to do, like, a little bit, or one extra combo on Roxas, or something like that, and you essentially have the exact same strat. Oh, speaking of Roxas, are you gonna do the, fun, fancy magnet one, or...?
I will if you'd like. I was gonna do a party trick, my party trick of the old blindfolded, but I think everyone here has already seen that, so I'll do the new one. Maybe, but yours. I'll do yours, yeah.
Not mine.
Well, I call it yours because you taught me. The one you taught me. How about that?
I copied from someone else.
Yeah, I'll do that one.
I don't know who they copied it from.
I'll do that one.
Also, Decisive the Pumpkin, I don't know if I made it clear. This is the final Keyblade release for the rest of the run. Well, no, that's not really. It's the majority that we use. The only time that you would put it on right before Genie's Bar, but you don't need to use it. Decisive for the carpet segment.
Bit too far away.
Looks like you also started in this.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a slight mix of both.
I'm not too adept in that Magnet Trinity because it's like it doesn't take long to kill those guys anyway.
No, we're again very, very calm level with this world, which is new. I think we're only like 4 levels behind as recommended, 2 levels, something like that, which is not very common for this room, so our damage is very, very good.
So for Zaldin, it's just 9 jumps and then Duck Flare. See ya.
He died. Thank you, Duck Flare.
Yeah.
Again, Duck Flare will keep everybody staggered. Everybody will get stuck in kind of this loop of just rockets pounding on them, and then Sora, for some reason, deals so much extra damage with aerial spiral and aerial dive.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Another thing that we might not have mentioned, for those of you who might not know, another great thing about limits is that you are invulnerable for the entirety of them.
Yeah. The entire time you have the limit bar up there, you're invincible. So there's actually a couple times in longer categories you somewhat beat that, so you can get off all kinds of extra combos and damage, while also being completely invulnerable to the said damage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very useful in like teams.
There we go. Nice. So that fight can be a bit tough because that enemy, it's just, who knows who he might be, but he doesn't stagger to anything.
No. And so you can be in the middle of a combo and you'll just decide, I'm just gonna smack you, or I'm just gonna dash or do something, and I'll crit everything there, even though we're decently on level at this moment with the world. And we still take so much damage.
Yeah.
So much extra damage.
This fight is just Magnet Trinity, then you control them.
The camera angle does matter a tiny bit there.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit more precise to get the quick kill the way that he just did. If you angle your camera correctly, you get more things sucked in and bouncing, and It's weird. Magnet's weird. Trinity's weird. Just no camera angle effects there. It's in very bizarre. Do you use Genie here for the fight, or do you do Duckfire?
I do Duckfire now. I used to do Genie for the longest time.
That's. I'm not sure what strategy is updated, so that's why.
Right. Thanks for asking.
So, this way, Duckfire. So on beginner, you use Valor, and you do a bunch of fun Valor combos because your damage is crazy. We used to on crit just do Genie because, oh well, Genie is one of our best damage outputs, and we also don't get hit by giant lightning bolts. Yeah, Duckfire. That's this fight.
A little bit under damage. We'll see.
So it's not a stitch here as well because he kills Donald pretty much in one hit every time. And so if you keep Stitch out, you not only can get your MP back, but sometimes it also prevents Donald from dying. This time we weren't so lucky. And also Duck Flare for a second time.
Shit.
So slightly under damage, yeah. We fell off the back foot slightly early, so I also think some of your volley has been whiffed at first.
Yeah, I had trouble keeping a continuous combo.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So ideally, the fight would end right before he flies away, but lost a few seconds. Oh,
One thing
thanks,
that kind
Sammy.
of sucks with Duck Flare is, or I think all limits, now that I think about it, that you can actually like control server during, is if you hit triangle and it launches a volley off or whatever it does, in the middle of a combo, it will just cancel sort of combo. And so trying to learn the timing of when you can actually attack the sword and launch a limit off. It's very difficult to learn. And so for someone being rusty at the game, the fact that they can even do this so far with a 2 deaths, I think, right? Is very impressive.
Thank you.
So much micromanagement in KH2 for item builds, and just being able to finish around 80 categories is incredibly.
Oh yeah, it is a. This game is a non-trivial speedrun, no matter what the category is.
It is 3 hours of execution, and 3 hours of very difficult execution on top of that, where you have to just be going and going and going. The only break you get are gummy missions, but even then, it's okay, how do I prep for the next world? What are my menus? What are the strats? What are my fights? And you can't let your guard down. And when you're playing on crit, all of the extra, if I make a mistake, I'm dead.
Yep.
Because as we have seen with just a small error, the whole fight can just go down the drain. If anybody does want to learn this game, don't let us saying that crit is super hard or deter you from ever picking this game up. There's plenty of categories. If you don't think crit is the right one because you want a little bit more leeway, play beginner. Beginner is still very tricky and difficult, especially come endgame, but it's a lot easier to pick up and learn, and you have the ability to make a mistake and not immediately have a run multiple minutes behind because you missed with one combo.
And on top of that, I'm sorry, you can go ahead.
And also, don't feel like you're stuck to anything. I am a good example. My first run was not anything. I started learning plat, and my main categories are gold crown and 100%.
Which are like, 5 hours minimum.
5 and 10 hours long, pretty much.
Yeah. One thing I want to add on to that is, sure, this looks like there's a lot going on here, but to be clear, I don't consider myself any more skilled than the average gamer. This is just something I worked really hard on for a number of years because this is a game I'm so passionate about. So
the more you practice, the better you get. And if you have the determination to get better, you can. It just takes time, it takes questions, effort to learn how.
that's another thing. We are here as a community to help you if this is something you want to do. You know, like we're every time that, like there's a new runner that's trying any category or any game. You know, like there's like the hot category. I mean, KH1 beginner is always a hot category. So seeing new people do that is always super exciting. You know, so we'd be happy to have you, no matter what game you want to run.
Yeah, if anybody from just this demonstration does want to learn any category, feel free to ask either of us. Both Fritz and I are more than willing to answer any questions, and even if they seem dumb, which is because they're not, they're probably fine. You can feel free to ask.
Oh, yeah.
We're more than happy to. So yeah, we're coming up on the last world, well, the last 2 worlds, which is a very, very big boss from the start of this fight to the end of this game, or the start of this world to the end of the game, is one fight that can kill you after another, after another, after another. They're all very, very technical. We get to see some fun gene combos for quite a few fights actually. Again, abusing Magnet. Magnet is strong as all hell.
Oh yeah.
We have, oh boy, so many times that we're going to use Limit. We get to see Duck Flare mode. It's a very, very fun gauntlet coming up. The first fight might not seem like all that much, because it's just a bunch of nobodies, but when those nobodies two-shot you, as well as there's, god, how many waves? 1, 2, 3, 6, 5? Five waves of nobodies, I think. I don't remember.
I'm sorry. In the mansion fight.
Yeah. I think it's 5.
Something like that.
Yeah, there's like 5 waves of nobodies that you have to quickly kill. Then you have another fight coming up that can one-shot you. Not two-shot you, one-shot you for a majority of the fight. And so, you have that right into a boss gauntlet.
So Genie's in the form I want him to be in.
Yeah, Master Genie is super fun. Do you want me to be quiet for this? Or
No, go ahead.
Okay, so similar to all the other times that we use Magnet, we're hitting things in and out. So Genie in Master Form will suck things in. So if we use a Magnet in the air, then we use Genie. Well, in Master Form, which is what he is going to suck all of the nobodies in towards that magnet. We're then going to hit him with Genie, which deals a bunch of damage on them. We're then going to knock them all in and out of the magnet, which deals a ton of damage all on them. And so we're killing off many, many, many ways simply by just abusing this mechanic of
There we
Magnet
go.
dealing lots of chip damage, Genie dealing lots of chip damage. Paired together, it's better DPS than we have. Just period.
Oh yeah.
And the sign of a good fight, you finish while spinning around inside the Genie. So this was a good fight. Strategy.
Also, Zoim, to be clear, so I have my game audio from my speakers and you from headset. So if I just need to focus, I'll just take the headset down. You can explain everything.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. So yeah. That fight, there's also a few other weird quirks with it, like you have to, for the first couple of waves, keep Magnet from not locking onto anybody, because otherwise it just won't work and people will get sucked into the Magnet and not to Genie, and messes the fight up. But whereas the other fight, being like assassins or samurai, yeah, the samurai, they don't get affected by that as much, and so you want to use the Magnet on top of them, and yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, that was so counterintuitive for me to learn.
Like, I think that took me the longest to figure out. Oh, I hit the Magnet at the samurai to actually kill him. So, in this fight, you have 2 different ones. The first one is you dust that you kill with the Magnet fire. Then this one is
I don't like this.
no, that is creepy. Okay, seems like you're good. So with this one, it's a lot of Magnet in the finishing it and trying to deal with a lot of your ranges of where nobodies are and damage and everything. Because there's a lot of attacks in here that can be straight. So a lot of the assassins will come over and we're just trying to explode, like such.
I I don't know how I lived that.
Yeah, you were two of them. I was always there was one shot.
Oh, yeah.
They also have a very strong sweep, and that sweep can, if you don't have it, so
Okay.
very, very scary.
That was
fight.
spaghetti.
One thing that does help with that fight is knowing that all the nobodies only ever try and attack Axel. So if they ever do get weirdly grouped like that, stop attacking, go to Axel and wait a second, and they will tend to just all follow over there.
Let's go.
Yeah. So that spiraled out of control all because I couldn't keep all the nobodies together at the beginning because like Axel just hit a few of them. If you keep them all together, then you have a pretty good chance of that fight going well enough. All right, so here's Roxas. Go ahead, Zoe.
Oh boy. Alright. So Roxas, this is a cool stretch. What we're doing here is we're gonna use Revenge Failure, which is a fun little mechanic in the game that causes enemies to always retaliate after a certain time. And so what we're doing here, we're forcing this very specific combo to always retaliate in the way that we do. And by us doing that, we're able to get off these really cool thunder combos, as well as this limit combo. We're doing that, we're getting them up. We're going to use one more regular combo. We're going to use one more ground combo. One more hit in the reflect. The thunder reflect. Now an air combo to force them to retaliate after one thunder. On a reflect, magnet, reflect into tribute. This is one of the prettiest fights, especially the prettiest endings. It's so fast to try and explain what happens. It is such a detailed and difficult fight. There's so many intricacies I didn't explain, such as what attacks you need to use between the thunders, what attacks, like the timing of some of your combos. There's so many little things that you have to learn for that strat right there to make it go well. But when you pull it off, it's so worth it. So pretty.
Okay, so that was a sizable menu. I have it so Ether is hotkeyed. I have aerial finish back on. We put on slapshot, took off guard, counter guard, put on drive boost, and combo master. There's a lot.
Yeah. So we also put on 2 Become 1, which is the Keyblade from Roxas. So putting on 2 Become 1 actually makes it so anytime you go into a drive form while in battle, it will just immediately put you in anti form or give you final form. And you don't want final form, you really want anti, because anti is going to lower the anti points, so we can safely use drive in any of the next coming turns. So on top of that, Combo Master, what it does is the rest of the game. You weren't able to actually chain combos together. So like if you whiffed a hit, that was it. That was the end of the combo. You couldn't continue it on. And you also can chain magic into physical attacks into magic again. Like you can do fire, fire, finisher, but you can do like fire, slap, shot, fire, finisher. That it just wouldn't go. Or vice versa, right? Now with Combo Master, you can do all kinds of fun combos with it. I know we're at the very end of the game on it, but I'm pretty sure there's not a single fight inside the Big Bar that we don't do Combo Master combos on. The Big Bar is also a very tricky fight. There's only the abusing death player to keep them stunned. So you have a lot of timings with your combos where you have to rely on the area finish actually stunning him and then releasing a duck flare at the right time so that way the rockets will hit him and actually keep him stunned, and if they don't keep him stunned, then we have the issue of him getting away. Oh,
Barely.
yeah. First is a very complicated ending for that, which is much more difficult than what I ever told.
I need to figure out the easier one.
It's literally don't do the combo you do after the first duck flare. Just go into Valor and get your damage off of Valor, and then repeat the first combo with duck flare. It's actually.
So just all right. So after the duck flare, you don't do the extra combo. You just do the Valor combo and then do the same original combo, duck flare combo. Oh, okay. I'll give it a shot.
putting on.
Oh, I gotta
Yeah,
take off aerial finish. There we go.
Yeah. So aerial finish is really only ever used for Zigbar. You can do it without, but God, it is so difficult to learn the timing without it.
Yeah.
I don't do it for any percent. I don't find the risk to do it worth it, because if you mess it up, he has a very high chance of being able to kill you. He can also DM you immediately. And so far, we haven't seen any DMs, which means this is a pretty... do you find account Long Rider as a DM? He didn't really do it. He's kind of sad. So, we didn't really see any DMs.
Right.
Luxor, he doesn't have a health bar. He has a time game, which is like a health bar.
Oh, okay, we're good. There we go.
His gimmick, he will summon cards randomly. He can also do a mini game. The mini game is what we want, because the mini game allows us to use momentum. We do a lot of aerial hits, and then do a slap shot, flex into a bird break. And by doing that, it will just steal a
Excuse
lot
me.
of extra damage. I can't tell if that was the really bad thing is that when they ported this game into 60 FPS, they ended up breaking, sadly, how the cards work.
Yeah.
So the cards on PS2 and in 30 FPS, so PS3 I guess as well, they will actually follow you. So what the strat used to be is if you did the cards instead of the minigame, you would quick run towards him, then jump, and then reflect in the air. And then what would happen is you'd be able to catch him with a reflect and get him right back into the air. In this case, you can't, because the cards are random. We barely missed it.
I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was safe enough for me to even. I don't know. I could have, but I didn't want to.
So what is DM is something that you can't do. And this is the whole DM. It skips like the entire. That's
We're good.
Okay, you're good. Stop scaring me, please. So his DM is just do the minigame and he dies. It's not too terribly hard. The reason we skip it is that depending on when you start trying to skip it, it actually is faster than sitting through the whole thing. But for where Fritz was and how the combo was working and all that, it was just safer and I think a little bit faster to just sit through the DM instead of trying to skip it.
Yeah.
And skipping it is also very hard. It requires a lot of very precise comments. Combos.
Alright, so this is the strat you taught me.
This is another one of my favorite strats. It is
Same.
and Magnus, not for the reason. So, he has a berserker for D. You don't want it to go all the way up, because if it does, it goes into that thing, and you have to optimize it. So, we're going to get to it. A lot of that.
No, what? Okay, that was. Kill me. I forgot that it wasn't auto cursored. I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's already auto cursored.
Alright, well, we're gonna redo.
Yeah, I want to show off the strat.
So good. Such a good strat. Alright, we're gonna redo.
There we go.
We're gonna try and explain a little bit better what the combos that are happening. So all of the hits that he's doing are very precise and actually they're not just hit a little kill damage. Like they all have. You need to do them for a certain reason. So we're waiting for him to do DRC. Very good. Now we're going to do a full ground combo into a finishing routine. The whole reason we do this is to do a little bit of extra. We're then going to be doing 5 aerial fights into a full combo, into going to guard, off and substitution, and then with ours, in this order, we're going to revert, magnet, or reflect, into ductile. We're then going to do 3 aerial fights beforehand to top our ether, slap shot, reflect, magnet,
Thank you. So he DM'd.
magnet, reflect. Oh, he did. Yeah, I think it's because he did the slap shot, so there's a better reflect. No, not that one. I don't know what happened there. If you didn't DM, that would have been the end of the fight with Duck. So be it. That strat is very, very difficult by the way.
Yeah.
All of the timings are very tricky. You have to, especially when getting the magnets off. So the reason we magnet there is it forces him to retaliate towards us, because if we didn't use the magnet, he would potentially just decide to go into his DM in his berserk phase again. We don't want that. That's not good. So you magnet, it forces him to charge at you. You can reflect that into a duck flare and keep him stunned, but it didn't work out quite too well because he decided to jump into the air, which is...
I think what happens is, like, I think it's, I'm not sure, but I think it's based on the timing of your reflect when you duck flare, like in relation to each other. So,
yep.
And you know, when you're trying to menu that quickly in the command menu, sometimes it just happens. Thankfully, it's not too difficult to get about.
So I have found my own personal timing that works pretty much all the time, but it's so difficult to try and tell someone like, oh, do it like this, because it doesn't always work. A lot of that is just having to learn your own timing.
Yeah, your own muscle memory.
And then not only is it different, like the time between reflecting and going into duck flare, you also have to worry about the manual into the reflect and just all kinds of timing for that strat. It is so fun once you learn it and pull it off though. It makes it one of the most rewarding fights in the game to me.
Oh yeah. Alright, here we go.
And here is also going to be a great example of combo moves. Reflect, swap shot into reflect. You can't do that without combo. What that swap shot in the middle allows you to do is interrupt the reflect chain. So that,
you just did the long combo.
okay. Sorry, I have delay, so I wasn't.
Oh yeah.
So what happens when you can use a reflect in between, or a slap shot in between the reflectors, you get both of the reflect damage, which is super, super good. As you can see, when we were able to do that. Like, almost an entire bar with one combo. So good.
Oh, you brick.
Do you know about the timing for the trick for artists that doesn't do that?
No.
Okay, so hold forward or any direction after artist. Sora will take a step and let you go like ever so slightly faster.
Okay.
It's only ever really useful when done this. That's it. No other fight.
Okay, it was very imperative that I didn't lose drive there.
Yeah. Losing drive here, you can recover from it, but it's not fun to recover from it.
Right.
And now we're on to the all the final fights. This so far has still just been not even the final fights. They're close to. They're still hot.
Okay, Merv.
So much better.
What pace do you think I'm on? Like, mid 302 maybe?
I mean, it depends on if you die or not, because anyway
Right.
it's like 11-ish minutes, so it's like 304.
Okay.
I would say 305. So, yeah, a really, really good final fight is like 11 and a half. Or, not 11, like 11.
Okay.
I think that beginning time though, I think it might be a little bit longer.
That's right, we have Blue Eyes White Dragon, yeah, so 302 is out the window.
Yeah. Still, very good run. All the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Have you done about what category you're in?
No. I mean, I know I want to stick with Kingdom Hearts 2, but I'm not sure what, I don't know why, like, I've been just because I haven't really considered longer categories just because it hasn't occurred to me. You know, I've been thinking like, do I want to do, let's go Master Form. I was thinking like, should I do level 1 or beginner? But it's like, now it's like, wait, these other categories are actually kind of cool. Maybe I should give them a shot. And we've talked about it. It's just, it's something I should really give a try.
So, on some of the longer categories, beginner friendly, I should say, is one of the only ones really. Is I would say all worlds. All worlds is really, really cool. You can do Atlantica and that is somewhat of a down. Like,
Yeah.
not good. But being able to also do all of the fragments and the second Solstice visit and Space Paranoid, which we skipped, actually, it's something about being able to do those very quickly at low level is still very fun. Like, one of my favorite worlds to do is definitely Olympus 2. Oh boy, more magnet. Use Genie cancels on the floor to get it to spawn all these enemies because of that damage. We then use the damage from the resources to knock it into the air far enough back so that way we can magnet into a monster gene into the It is very tricky to run, but so cool. And from here, it's just stuff play the court, and then we use Valor Form because we now have a big, so we have 2 plus 6 damage Keyblades on, plus we have the damage from combo boost on Decisive, which just makes, your finish is so strong.
Yeah. The alert for the buildings came really late. I don't know why.
You went really fast. That was like a perfect fight.
It really was. So do a reflect here, thunder reflect into guard break. Gonna let him retaliate once more. Then we're gonna heal Donald and go into Duck Flare. I could have done that a little bit earlier. I've tried doing like the more optimal strats, but I'm just not good at it. I do. Oh, we got a UDAT raid. We got the fan.
Oh yeah, anyway, all worlds. Very good category. We have nothing to do besides stare at the dragon. It ain't gonna be fun to explain this. You absorb lasers, and you can shoot laser lasers or shoot a big laser. I think I explained it well enough. What do you think?
Yep. You press buttons. Right. You press buttons and wait.
So, all worlds are very fun. Very, very fun. Super fun.
Oh yeah.
If you want to run along the category, I'd recommend anybody who's still new to the game absolutely try that. If you are okay with learning more about the game and you want to just have a deeper understanding as to the mechanics and what's in there and everything, try and learn Gold Crown. Gold Crown with the skip is actually very fun. Super friendly to anybody who's at least somewhat okay with the game. And then all you really need to learn is mushrooms. And there's so many fun things that you can do with mushrooms. One of the reasons I love learning that category so much is trying to just finding the optimal way to go through it and do all of that.
If I'm gonna learn Gold Crown, what I'm gonna need to learn is how to do that that darn mushroom and outside the Gensit's castle.
My favorite mushroom to do.
Really?
It is one of the most flashy and fun things that you can do in this game. Because you use like a weird combination of final form fires in the air, and so fun. It's so fun.
I'll have to watch your run of that.
Yeah, I'll send you a book. It's really cool. I love doing that mushroom so much. Yeah, the hard part for getting into that is definitely being comfortable. In my opinion, is being comfortable with being like 5 minutes behind on your timer sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to just accept that it's a long run, and until you start optimizing the time, you're probably gonna have weird sections like, oh hey, I lost like 10 minutes to Mushroom 8, but I saved all of that time back on Terra.
Right.
It's a wacky experience sometimes, but once you start optimizing it and getting good loaded a lot of those extra features and content into the game. It's so fun. Oh, and then core skip. Can't forget about core skip.
That's right. That's fun too. Also, wow, welcome you that fam. Hope your stream was nice. Thanks for all the good luck. After this, Iba's doing Lingering Will.
Yeah.
So stick around for a little bit.
I'm pretty sure it's all.
Yeah. I mean, it's gotta be.
I mean, I do find it fun watching crazy high level reflex on my team.
Oh yeah.
There's two different health. Once you hit the first one, he knocks you out into base. You have to go get a building. Or you wanna redo buildings to destroy a giant shield. And you have to do that twice. The second time, the shield like blows up and it's all cool and fancy.
Yeah.
But you only get one shot in the fight by attack. So, don't get hit. Like his little sword plate right there. You get hit by that, you're dead.
Yeah.
Instantly. Not because it's a combo or anything. It's just that.
That's why I delayed the finisher there, because I wasn't sure if he was gonna retaliate or not.
Which is smart. There is a way to do a faster building that looks really fun for you to do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a little bit hard to learn the time.
Gotcha.
Alright, and now the last phase of this is coming up. Which is really just kill armors on the two, and then it's on to the final fight. So time will be coming up relatively quick. Oh, and that swipe is always so annoying. You can sometimes like fall into that like accident and
Right.
get obliterated.
But that's why I always
right at the end of the fight.
I always land far enough away from him, so like that doesn't happen. Costs like a second or two, but it's worth it. All right, final
It is
boss.
way simple. You want me to try and explain this?
Yeah.
Alright. So, sometimes has a throw move that he does right in the beginning. You can normally just use a bunch of extra to get to it, but to go fast, we're typing a bunch of reflex so that way we can get a bit of extra damage off each time he goes through. Because he's also swinging his lightsaber. Ooh,
We're good.
Okay. Oh, you do. Okay. So, once you do that, the timing for those are fun. Very, very, very. Because you have to be careful between doing the arts, can't do them to be reflected through, wait, because if you do, you get hit. And you can see, there's a lot of damage that can be dealt in this fight. Terrifying, but this is why. So, Fritz is actually going to be using limit here at a very specific point of HP. If he was too far, if he was a little bit lower in HP, he'd be going to laser phase. Laser phase is not something you want to do, because it's not consistently good out, and on crit, so quick to die. So instead you're going to be forcing him to retaliate it with the throw move again. So,
That's it.
yeah, that's the last reflex you can get.
So that's the quick kill.
That was a very good fight. Scary, but very good.
Yeah.
And then time will be coming up in about a minute. So yeah, I've got like a 305.
305, yeah, I mean, that's pretty darn good. Let's think about, like, the major places of time loss. Of course, we had Obi. We had, let's call it, effectively an intentional death to Syx. Storm Rider. Right. But, I mean,
the other death? Since I know they had an extra one, I just don't
a
remember.
short one to the barrel.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
What else?
I don't, no, I think that was it. It was just like,
And the Axel fight was, like, really scuffed.
oh yeah. I mean, there's definitely time takes around from like little things in a little spotlight, but considering you haven't finished the run in a few months.
Yeah, right. thanks for the GGs, guys. This was real fun. Really glad to be a part of this. You know, supporting cancer research. I'm gonna do my donation in just a little bit. Really wish I could have been around for more of the run. I mean, for more of the marathon, but IRL is IRL. And but it was super fun.
GG.
Thank you. Yeah. Hey, great to see you too, Sammy. Let me throw in my donation. But once we get, I'm looking forward to IBA with the grand finale, or I guess the cherry on top, you know. And so Zoim, thank you so much for doing this. You know, like taking time out. This is so fun, and you made it so much better. So appreciate you.
Rather than commentary for someone else's run is always a bit hard. I'm not very good at it, so.
Yeah.
But thank you for letting me do my best.
I think you did a fantastic job.
I can't. Don't say another
Definitely.
word.
Yeah, really added a lot to it.
It's not over.
It's
just not.
quite clear that you know a lot about the game. So.
How can you say that? Even if we could go
All
on.
right.
Look where we are.
Uh,
Come on, Riku.
Want me to end stream
You've
Insta?
been hanging out in darkness too long. You gotta try and think positive.
I think Sage. Yeah, that's.
Sora?
Depends if Sage is ready.
Okay.
You
Oh,
lead.
hi Data.
Got it.
I guess in the meantime, go follow Fritz, by the way.
You know?
Go.
Oh yeah, don't
I
forget
usually do
to
those
follow
banging
and
stuff,
you know, definitely Zoe too. You're a part of this, you know that.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
So you know, give Stop and
I
Fritz
kinda
and
always thought
Zoe
you
a
were better
follow
at
on their
everything,
Twitch
too.
channels. They're amazing runners, and they were a big help for this
Riku,
this
look.
charity event.
What's that light?
You know, playing games to fight cancer, a lot of fun, had a lot of support, and what a great turnout. And of course, we have one more little special event, which is IBA coming up soon with
the
the Lingering
Yep.
Will, level 1.
Yeah.
Good job.
Sage,
Fun.
do you want us to
No way.
end? Do you want Fritz to end stream?
Sure. Thanks, guys.
Okay, fantastic.
See you around.
You were great, Fritz.
Thanks. Sage.
Yeah, have a good night,
you
man.
get to kill her.
All
Good
right.
night, everyone. Bye bye.
That's my job.
Good night.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys, we'll have IBA up and running here in a minute, and it'll be